case involving Mr. Sam Jackson, or in the ongoing investigation by the Liberia National Police following the death of a renowned Liberian economist, Sam Jackson's wife, Tony Jackson. And so, in continuation of the updates we've been providing you, we are here this morning to ensure that we can bring you up to speed with the unfoldings. We've been informed that Mr. Sam Jackson is going to be making his way here. In fact, we've gathered information that he is, along with his legal representatives, they're on their way here this morning at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Mr. Sam Jackson will be brought in, and we're expected to see the Liberia National Police update the public with respect to the ongoing investigation as well. How far have we come with the investigation? What's going to be the next plan of action? Is the Liberia National Police going to charge Mr. Jackson today? And what exactly is the authorities here going to be doing following the activity here this morning? So that's exactly what we're here. Uh, I see one of the legal representatives of Mr. Jackson, Councillor Griggs. I just saw Councillor Griggs here. All right. All right. So we want to see if, okay, I saw one of the representatives, one of the legal representatives of Mr. Jackson. He just walked down, but we've been informed that Mr. Jackson will be making his way here this morning. He's on his way with his legal representatives. We wanted to have spoken with, we wanted to have a brief conversation with one of the legal representatives of Mr. Jackson, seeing he walked down a little bit. So we're going to remain posted to bring you up to speed with the unfoldings here. Mr. Jackson will be making his way here this morning at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. And that is exactly why we're here, making sure that we can bring you all of the updates as this development unfolds. Most of you followed closely that Tony Jackson, who was most times referred to by Mr. Jackson as the Zulu Queen, his wife, whom he introduced to the social media and have been seen across social media, cherishing her whole life, lost her life after she was found unconscious in their room and later rushed to the hospital. Following that incident, some medical procedures were conducted. Mrs. Jackson later lost her life in the process. And then hours later, Mr. Jackson expressed a disappointment. He posted a photo that drew public concerns as well after he said he was having his first meal falling several hours after the loss of his wife. Following the situation, the police took keen interest in the matter, and Mr. Jackson was being declared a person of interest. The more where his wife, the remains of his wife was taken, the investigators visited the morgue. They started the preliminary investigation from there, and then they later called in the cook and the driver, trying to get their own perspective as to what really transpired at the home to establish circumstances leading to the death of Mr. Jackson. Following the situation, Mr. Jackson was being brought in as well for questioning. At that point, he was declared a person of interest. Following the several questionings, he was being brought in to the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, where Mr. Jackson was being declared as a suspect. He spent 8 hours here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. After the 48 hours, he was being released to his legal representatives. Mr. Jackson, following his release to his legal representatives, his travel documents were being taken by the Liberia National Police as well, since in fact the investigation was still ongoing. And the police conducted, the forensic team conducted their autopsy on the remains of Mrs. Jackson, trying to establish the cause of death. Dr. Parder, we understand, conducted that autopsy. The family also brought in their independent autopsy, Dr. Rockefeller Cooper, who was being flown into the country to conduct an independent autopsy on the remains of Mrs. Jackson. And following the situation, the police, let's say the Ministry of Justice, they say that since in fact there was an autopsy being conducted by the forensic team, they needed to conclude their investigation before the family's pathologist go in to conduct their own autopsy. And that has been the situation. One point to another, the Jackson family denied the request of the South African embassy to take take the remains of Tony Jackson to South Africa. Their point has been that they want to conduct their independent autopsy before the remains of Mrs. Jackson can be taken out of the country. In the midst of everything, there has been public concerns as well as to when exactly the police will get to release updates, or let's say update the public on the the public are also as to whether when the authorities, the forensic team, the Liberia National Police, will get to update the public on the status of the investigation. It's been one thing to another. The Liberia National Police, from the very start, once the Inspector General briefed the public, gave status of the investigation about 2 days after the conduct of the initial autopsy. The IG said that the brief public within 72 hours, and we've been looking forward to that. And we didn't get to see that official update from the Liberia National Police. But today we've been informed that Mr. Jackson, for the first time, for the several days or a week after he was here, is going to be after his release.
Willie, keep him and picture holding in there. Chopper, yeah, because I want to keep it as evidence.
And when he came here, he told he was made to answer several questions based on the pieces of information he's going to provide from the very start of the case. Mr. Jackson did answer 21 questions from the Liberia National Police here. With respect to the circumstances surrounding the death of the pieces of information, investigators are still trying to prepare information provided by the domestic workers, the driver, they've been trying to prepare the information, and that has been the process. We still and after several days, they're expected to see Mr. Jackson right here. He did gather information that Mr. Jackson has received. He and his legal representatives are on their way here, and they get what else from the Liberia National Police. So very shortly, we will see Mr. Jackson walk in here along with his legal representative. This to agrees here.
That's in the song. All right, go ahead and pull on.
So the Greeks he has been posted, and then
Hold on.
The arrival.
Check your device.
And so that's exactly what it is. So we want to we want to see. Okay, so I think we're good. So we are expected to see Mr. Jackson arrive here. So this is where we are. Okay.
Come on, try again.
All right, so we are. So we want you to give us update on the audio quality. Let us know the quality of the audio. As to whether the audio quality is good enough, we want you to give us update on that. We want you to let us know as to what the quality of the audio is like. as we remain posted here, making sure we can bring you all of the updates here live at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Mr. Sam Jackson is expected to arrive very shortly, and this is where we are. But I've been joined here by Diamond. Diamond, you want to come in? As we, no, I think yeah, our audio should be good by now, but we want you to keep giving us update. But I think our audio should be good by now. You could refresh your device as well, and but our audio should be good by now. Yeah, so this is where we are. So we are expected to see Mr. Jackson arrive here any moment from now. What exactly is going to be happening? As we've been providing the updates, a lot of things are expected here. In fact, since the Court of Public Opinion has been very much engaged or involved with this particular case, Mr. Jackson could be declared a free man following the police investigation. The police could just say that based on pieces of evidence we've gathered, Mr. Jackson, we've established that he has absolutely no link to the death of his wife, or charges could be pressed against Mr. Jackson could be charged and forwarded to court. There have been unconfirmed reports in the corridors of homicide and other charges, possible charges that could be pressed against Mr. Jackson. But we are looking forward to see this come from the authoritative source here, especially so from the Liberia National Police, the forensic team, since in fact they've been very much involved with this process every step of the way. So I want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us. Following the engagement here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, the Jackson family are expected to brief the press as well. They're expected to engage the media with respect to the ongoing investigation involving Mr. Sam Jackson. What exactly is the Jackson family going to be saying? That's another thing we're yet to establish. Or have they been briefed, in fact, that charges are going to be pressed against Mr. Jackson and that he's going to be forwarded to court today? What exactly is that thing that has prompted the Jackson family to say that, look, we're going to engage the press. We're going to have a press conference right after the engagement at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. All of these are expected to, we are expected to get the updates on all of those happenings here this morning. With the time already at 20 minutes past 11 a.m. in Monrovia, Mr. Jackson is making his way here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Diamond, you want to join me? You have been very much involved with this process as well. Welcome, Diamond.
Thank you, Nelson. Good morning to everybody watching. As Nelson rightly said, we here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, and he's been following this case. As you were giving your commentary, you made mention of 21 questions that Mr. Jackson answered. Police investigators asked him 21 questions, and that reminded me of the famous hip-hop song 50 Cent, you know, 21 questions. So when you said it, and then that song title just, popped up in my head, like 21 questions. But as you rightly have said, Nelson, there's been an established timeline already. Since Mr. Jackson was let go of by police authorities, it's been 16 days since he was, released by authorities on what is known as constructive detention. So he's not in police custody, but he cannot leave the country. He surrendered all of his travel documents, and he will submit himself to investigators whenever he's called upon. And since he was released under constructive detention, it's been 16 days. As you rightly put it, police authorities, investigators will have to come up with evidence, not just circumstantial, but if it is circumstantial evidence, meaning the circumstantial evidence should add up to a scenario that could play as probable cause. But in a court, they should be coming up with, substantial evidence, whether physical evidence, whether, DNA or biological evidence, whether forensic evidence, and the rest. But at this stage, is about probable cause. So as you rightly stated, Nelson, he might just be dropped today by police authorities. They might say, okay, we've investigated, We've done an autopsy. We've done our forensics and everything. We've checked physical evidence and eyewitnesses' accounts, and we do not have probable cause to charge you with anything. So you are hereby declared, a free person. Your rights are restored. All of your rights have been restored. You can take your travel documents, or you could see and side that police authorities could say, okay, we have found, put together our pieces of evidence. We have established probable cause. They might have gone to the grand jury of Montserrado County to draw up an indictment, which is known as a true bill, depending on what they can prove. Because remember, Nelson, after investigation, prosecutors will have to look at the evidence. They'll have to look at what evidence you've got to see whether enough there is a winnable case, whether there's enough to charge you with something. Remember, the charges that you have come up with, you should be able to prove those charges in a court of competent jurisdiction beyond all reasonable doubt. If you're talking of murder, you're talking about someone intentionally, they had a time, they had a motive, and they calculatively carried out taking away the life of another person. You have to prove that beyond reasonable doubt. That's murder. If you're talking about manslaughter, meaning the person didn't intentionally plan on killing that person, but in heat of something, whether a crime of passion, whether a jealous rage, whether just an argument, and there was just a weapon of opportunity, and they hit on that person, or they did something that caused that person's life, then you could point to manslaughter. If you're talking about negligent homicide, meaning that person, their actions were not reasonable enough to save the life of another person, meaning they were reasonable in their mind, but what they did didn't add up, in saving the life of another person, in preserving the life of another person, and that led to the death of that person. So state investigators or prosecutors will have to look at all of these things. If they will go before a grand jury, Nelson, 15 to 8 members that are selected every beginning of the term of court, yes, they must go before a grand jury along with state attorneys and provide the evidence and convince the grand jury that there is probable cause. At the grand jury stage, it's not about guilt, it is about probable cause. So these are just scenarios that we are playing with, but we do not know what is going to happen once he arrives here today. Yeah. Whether he will be set free or allegations against him or all suspicions, because he has not been charged with anything officially. So all suspicions against him might be dropped, or we might see him being elevated from a suspect, to being charged or indicted. So anything could play up here, and that's why we're here to make sure the Liberian people get exactly what happens here. And you've been doing a wonderful job following up this case since the onset of that, Nelson.
Yeah, Diamond. So let me just read. I'll let us just remain on this. We're going to keep looking around so as to make sure we capture the moment.
Looking around, you're
yeah, but Solomon looking around in Solomon was for security reason. But this
stick on your head, you have bullet vest, but you're just left looking like
yeah. So, but yeah, so the Diamond, I want us to read what the family put out yesterday. It says tomorrow. Let me step away from yeah. So it says the Jackson family statement for immediate release, April 1, and it goes on to say tomorrow, Mr. Jackson's visit to the Liberia National Police headquarters. The family will convene a major press conference, and it says this platform will be focused on will be used to formally unveil and provide clarity on the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate demise of his wife, Toni Kamalo Jackson. Well, I need to zoom this in. Okay, Toni Kamalo Jackson. We will also address the sequence of events from the moment she was discovered in a pool of blood, her initial medical attention at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital, where she remained for over 6 hours, and a subsequent. That's all right. Yeah. So I see the Tony's rack making its way here now. Yeah. So
he's at the front seat, Nelson. So we have to move faster. We do see the vehicle. Let's position right here. So we see the vehicle turning right is coming, and on board is Samuel Jackson. I do see him at the front seat of this vehicle. So there he is, Sam Jackson. He's right here. He has arrived. This is Mr. Samuel Jackson. Uncle Sam, any word to the media as you're entering now?
We just hope closer to be able to bury my wife and give her a decent send off. That's all. So we're going to be cooperating with the police.
It's been 16 days. Anything from the police? Have you heard anything from them?
His lawyer, Bobby, want to show you.
Mr. Jackson here, escorted by his legal team. Escorted by his legal representatives of the Liberia National Police. Lawyers, on his website, Sam Jackson.
So this is Sam Jackson making his way 16 days since he left the police station. He is now climbing the stairs, gingerly climbing the stairs. Still ongoing investigation into the death of his wife, Tony Khumalo Jackson, and he's flanked by his legal representation and moving. He said he hopes that he can get closure today. There you have them. They're looking for the right office to make entry into. This is a case that has caught serious attention. Sam Jackson, a very vocal person in Liberia. He's been in the political space for a lengthy period. An economist, urban planner, a socialite, if you want to add that as well. And
Especially following this visit at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police.
No comment.
so no comment is what we got. They're still looking for the office, and now they found it and they've now made entry. So folks, this is Spoon TV. We remain live here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police.
That one.
Yes, sir. Good. Yeah, 11:30, 11:30. That's the time he entered. So we have to keep track of that to make sure that we calculate the length of time that he will be with the police. So he has arrived, Nelson.
Yeah.
And says what he wants and looks forward to is being given closure. So, folks, Spoon TV, remain live with us. Time as longer. Nelson Colette here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Samuel Jackson, the suspect in the death of his wife, Tony Khumalo, has now been, he's now made his way into the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. As to what will be the outcome of today's visit, we remember quite vividly the last time Mr. Jackson officially made his way here at the Liberia National Police headquarters. He spent 48 hours, or constitutionally 48 hours, in police custody. But in number of days, he spent more days than the stipulated time because it was on a Friday and there was a holiday, and then he was released on a Tuesday. So we will be following up on this case. What is going to unfold, we cannot tell you, but we've been getting hints of either of the two could play out. Mr. Jackson could most likely be dropped off the suspect list and demoted back to a person of interest, or be cleared in its entirety, or Mr. Jackson might just be arrested, charged, and forwarded to court. Whatever the outcome is, it's been 16 days since he left police custody. The death of his wife, Tony Khumalo Jackson, took the nation by storm in a twist where initially he was seen as the widower, and now within 24 to 48 hours, his status changed from just being a widower to a person of interest, and then dramatically to a suspect. So keep watching Spoon TV. An autopsy was conducted on the remains of Tony Khumalo Jackson at the Simosis Funeral Palace. Nelson did cover the entry of that particular process. He was there for the Spoon Network. And subsequently, forensic investigators made their way multiple times to Mr. Jackson's residence in their bid to collect forensic evidence or whatever physical or biological evidence digital evidence they could collect. We do not know the magnitude of the pieces of evidence that have been gathered by law enforcement, but something that has been pointed out by many pundits is the fact that it's been 16 days. It's been a lengthy period since he was let go of temporarily under what is known as constructive detention. By constructive detention, it means he cannot leave the country. He's still subjected to police investigation. Until this investigation is closed, Mr. Jackson would be called upon by authorities of the Liberian National Police to provide additional information when needed. So hence this process is still ongoing. As to what is going to be the conclusion, we cannot tell you as of now whether or not he will be dropped entirely or he will be elevated from a suspect to an indictee and subsequently taken to court. So keep watching Spoon TV here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. Mr. Jackson arrived wearing a red polo shirt and his iconic blue jeans trousers. You know, he was accompanied by his lawyer, Jeremiah Dubo. Yeah, Nelson, if I got the name right. Accompanied Mr. Jackson into the headquarters there of the Liberian National Police. They in a room with a big gray door. That's where they are currently. And what process it is that is ongoing in there, we can only speculate. Either it could be he's been let go of, he's been dropped, or he will be arrested, charged, and subsequently forwarded to court. On what charges? If we were to look at charges, and now say we want to go to the Penal Law of Liberia, the revised Penal Code of Liberia 1978, to see what charges are there and what these charges entail if you charged with either murder, manslaughter, or negligent homicide. Of the three, negligent homicide is a third-degree felony, meaning it's the lesser or the least of the three charges. So let's look at what these charges entail according to Liberian law. So Gabe, you can kindly help me with this phone. And let me read what it says. So according to the Penal Law of Liberia 1978, murder, which is chapter, that's section 14.1, murder. It says, a person guilty of murder if he purposely or knowingly causes the death of another human being, or B, causes the death of another human being under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to the value of human life. A reputable presumption that such indifference exists arises if the defendant is engaged or is an accomplice in the commission of or an attempt to commit or flight after committing or attempting to commit treason, offenses defined in sections 11.2 or 11.3 of this title: espionage, sabotage, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, felonious restraint, arson, rape, aggravated involuntary sodomy, escape, piracy, or other felony involving force or danger to human life. So in all of these cases, a person could be found guilty if they committed the act of murder. Now, murder is a felony of the first degree, but a person convicted of murder may be sentenced to death or life imprisonment as provided in section 50.5 and 51.3. Now, what then is manslaughter? So a person is guilty of manslaughter if he, A, recklessly causes the death of another human being, or B, causes the death of another human being under circumstances which could be murder, except that he causes the death under the influence of extreme emotional disturbance for which there is reasonable excuse. The reasonableness of the excuse shall be determined from the viewpoint of a person in his situation under the circumstances as he believes them to be. An emotional disturbance is excusable within the meaning of this section if it is occasioned by provocation, event, or situation for which the offender may not be culpable or responsible. Manslaughter is a felony of the second degree. And then the third is negligent homicide. A person is guilty of negligent homicide if he causes the death of another human being negligently. Negligent homicide is a felony of the third degree. So those are the three degrees of murder in Liberia: murder in itself, murder in its entirety, manslaughter, and then negligent homicide. So as clearly stated about the Penal Code of Liberia, the Penal Law of Liberia, revised 1978, if you commit murder, meaning you purposefully, you meaningfully, took the life of another person. If you commit manslaughter, is you can be excused if it was done in an emotion, meaning you didn't mean to do it. It was just something that happened in the heat of the rage, or the rage of the heat, or whichever you want to call it. And you can be excused by a person of reasonable understanding as yourself. That is either a grand jury or a jury in this case, or a judge if you selected a bench trial. And then negligent homicide is where you don't. It's said that you caused the death of a person by negligence. And what does our law say constitute negligent? So still with the Penal Law of Liberia, this is negligent. This is under section 2.2, known as kinds of culpability. So negligently means if he engages in the conduct in unreasonable disregard of a substantial likelihood of the existence of the relevant facts or risks. So negligent is defined by the law as if a person engages in the conduct in unreasonable disregard of a substantial likelihood of the existence of the relevant facts or risks. So for example, you may be charged with negligent homicide if your actions, did not in any way, were not deemed as reasonable in preserving the life of another person. Example, you and somebody, had a fight, or you hit the person and the person drops, and then in your attempt, you do not exercise enough to take that person from the scene of the incident and take them to the hospital, or you tried doing it, but you were slow in doing it, or how you did it refers and points to a negligent way for which that was done. You could be charged with negligent homicide, or your actions did not directly lead to the death of that person. You didn't purposely plan or carry out the death of another person, but your actions somehow were not reasonable. As a person who's got all of the sense, all of the understanding, you are a reasonable person, you can be charged with negligent homicide. So these charges ranges from first degree felony to third degree, murder being a first degree felony, and we know that murder in Liberia is a non-billable offense. So we're looking to see what happens in there, whether or not Mr. Jackson is going to be let go of, or he is going to be charged. I see his lawyer is making his way. His lawyer just made his way out. If Gabriel can zoom, that's the lawyer there. Where he's going to, we don't know, but he's looking like he's going towards the direction of the court. That's where he's going to. So we see the lawyer. That's Jeremiah Dubo. He's there in the grillish, brandish-like suit, and we see that he's shaking hands with others. But where is he headed to, Nelson? Did you get to speak to him?
I spoke with him briefly, and what he's saying now is that he's trying to remove his car from the current position there at the because I think he's blocking someone. So he was just being called that he has to remove his vehicle, but he didn't get to speak on the status of the process ongoing there. But Diamond, where we went, that particular office that we saw Mr. Jackson, his legal representative, entering, is the office of the CSD Raphael Wilson. Raphael Wilson has been the lead investigator in this entire process. He is the, let me get his title right. He's from the Crime Services Division there at the Liberia National Police. He has been seen most times with the 103, who happens to be Samuel Frank, the Deputy Inspector General for Crime Services Investigation. So Raphael Wilson is the Deputy Commissioner for Crime Services, their investigation there at the Liberia National Police. So because he was one of those persons who was very engaged with this process, bringing the forensic team back and forth, visiting the home, visiting the morgue, and making sure they collect the different samples. That's why we saw Mr. Jackson and his legal representatives making their way there in his office.
So Jeremiah is going into the courtyard. That's a very convenient reason to make your way to the courtyard. But we'll take his word for it. We'll keep following up the process to see what they involved with, and if there are charges, they are not going to be hidden charges. They will be announced to the public, but we're in the business of news, and so we want to make sure we get first-hand information as it unfolds. But we're following up. I keep looking towards the court because I want to see if he's going to remove a vehicle, or if he's going to the court to see if he can start the process of what it would be like to whatever the charges will be, whether they are available. But we still not gotten any charges yet. Let's let our people know that we do not know if Sam Jackson is going to be charged or he's going to be dropped now. So you wanted to say something?
Yeah, at this point, Diamond, everything is at a standstill. But these movements will obviously trigger some sort of interest, because we saw he went in there with his legal representatives. Now he came downstairs. Let's say one of the legal representatives came downstairs, now running to the courtyard. Why exactly is he going there? That's something that will obviously trigger some sort of concerns. But as you said, we take his word for it. He says he's going to remove his car. Usually, what the protocol is there at the courtyard is, when you park your vehicle, you are asked to give your number. Your number is written on some sort of paper and stuck right on your windshield. So in the case where maybe you were parked right before someone and that person came and they want to remove their vehicle, most times they'll call you, and then you get to go there, remove your vehicle, and so forth. So we're yet to establish as to whether what he told us is the actual reason why he's going there. But you can't rule out anything, because the legal profession goes with some level of confidentiality as well. Anthony Jeremiah Dubois will not want to let everything out as it is, especially involving his client. In the case where he has seen some signs of a possible charges being pressed against his client, and maybe he's going out there at the court to sort of arrange something. Obviously, he wouldn't tell the media at this point, unless where that information gets made true. It gets to the point where they see it necessary to release that to the media. So we look forward to see what happens, because this is one case that Liberians have been so much interested in, and we're going to follow every step of the way. And the fact that the family released a statement saying that right after this engagement, they're going to be speaking with the press as well, that indicates that there's something very big cooking today. Just that it hasn't reached
that particular
stage.
statement, it gave away so much.
Yeah.
It gave away so much. And this case, as you rightly said, Nelson, has been playing in the public sphere since its inception. Sam Jackson is no stranger to the public. His actions after the death of his wife again raised a lot of public scrutiny. But again, experts will tell you there isn't a specified or an accepted way to mourn the loss of someone. People grieve and mourn in different ways and formats. But in a country where opinions are diverse, those also brought some level of criticism, especially the 30 hours, my first meal challenge. We saw that springing up on social media. Folks coming up with what is now known as the 30 hours first meal challenge. But what we should also keep telling the folks is that in the court of public opinion, conviction is based on feelings, emotions, and in the court of competent jurisdiction, convictions are gotten based on reasonable, on prosecuting a case beyond all reasonable doubt.
Pieces of evidence, convincing enough that will warrant, some sort of prosecution against that individual. And Damo, you're right. We saw that when this case came out, the court of public opinion took onto this case, and everyone drew their line.
All right, he brought a vehicle. I've been following. Yeah, I've been listening to you, but I've been keeping my eyes. I've been keeping my eyes peeled at that particular area. But let's look at the processes, Nelson. And one of the key processes that brought a lot of criticism towards the end of the Liberian National Police was that of the preservation of the scene. The preservation of the scene of the incident. The police did mention that the death was deemed as suspicious, and there was a lot of time that passed before the police went to contain the scene of the incident, giving a lot of room, to a lot of speculation, a lot of backlashes from the people in the public that, look, if you suspected that this death was quote unquote suspicious, why didn't you move in, to secure the scene of the incident immediately? But Mr. Jackson was allowed to sleep in his residence, and then the next day the police did go there again, and then they went there again after another time. We saw mourners and the rest trampling all across the scene of the incident. So that alone brings into question the process of crime scene preservation in Liberia and evidence gathering, especially when it comes to the forensic angle of gathering and preserving evidence. We see it a lot in Liberia, and our investigations rely wholly, if not entirely, on physical evidence and eyewitnesses' account or confessions. We are not a very scientific and sophisticated police force when it comes to investigation, talking about DNA analysis, comparing of DNA to eliminate suspects or persons of interest, forensic evidence, digital trail, phones, using microwave towers, and the rest. Nelson, we're still way behind, and that particular instance showed and exposed crime scene preservation in Liberia, which would lead to evidence being tampered with if there is a prosecution or the scene being contaminated to a larger extent, Nelson.
And Diamond, I did speak with a lot of experts, and especially following that case every step of the way. And what some of them said to me was that the police, being a law enforcement body, wanted to make sure that enforcing the law, they were doing so and not at the same time, not in the process of enforcing the law, breaking the law at the same time. So if you go back to that scenario or that situation you just mentioned, yes, the incident occurred and immediately the police was on top of it. Just few hours after the death, the police got involved for the entire process, went at the mall. In fact, going at the mall, they didn't need the approval of Mr. Jackson. So they went at the mall and they were able to carry on the first examination on the remains of Mrs. Jackson. And following that, they wanted to proceed to the home the same day. But then Mr. Jackson's point was that they did not have a warrant. And in the absence of the warrant, he would not give the police access to his home.
So at that time, was it not deemed as an active scene? Did they need a warrant to enter an active scene? It's like you see an offense being committed. Do you need a warrant and all of these things? Legal experts need to speak to this, because if it is an active scene, did they need a warrant? Did they enter his premises with a warrant that particular day?
And that's where it gets a bit tricky. That's where it gets a bit tricky, because Mr. Jackson is mourning the loss of his wife, and you expect that, especially when you have these kinds of situation where a suspect or an individual is mourning, there's a human side to this whole thing, and there is a legal side of it as well. So yes, for some reason, the investigators, the police, did not move in, did not use force to move in, because in that case, the only thing that would have allowed the police or the forensic team to have access to the crime scene was force. Since in fact, Mr. Jackson was not in the position to allow them to just move in and access the scene. So were they in the position to use force? I would say no. Because given everything we saw, there were all indications that the police was not in that position to use force. And since in fact they were not in the position to use force, they then needed to get a warrant. Now take a look at the sequence of events here. The situation occurred on a Thursday night. Friday, the whole thing came up to the public space, and it was on the very Friday that the police started the investigation and so forth. Now the police wanted to get access to the room, to the crime scene where Mrs. Jackson was found in the pool of blood, but they were unable because Mr. Jackson was not willing to give them access. Now, in the process, it's past 2 p.m., the court is closed, all right? And they needed to get the warrant. They didn't get the warrant Friday until up until Saturday. Courts were closed, but I think Saturday evening or Sunday morning, no, in fact, it was on a Monday that they were finally able to get the warrant. So they got the warrant, moved in, and they were able to do their work. But Diamond, they were interested to know that about 73 hours or so, let's say about 3 days, the very environment or the very home that was considered a crime scene was not barricaded until after about 3 days before we saw the caution tips being run from the front porch to the back porch and all of that. So the first day, the second day, up until the third day, there were people in the home, in the residence of Mr. Jackson. They were carrying all their normal activities up until the third day when the police moved in and asked all of them to vacate the upstairs of the building and only make use of the ground floor. And that was when the police now took siege or took charge of the entire crime scene. As to whether this is going to temper with the evidence or the crime scene, as to whether the crime scene preservation is something that the police was able to achieve, that's something we cannot uprightly say, because one, the police have not in any of their updates said that they were unable to preserve the crime scene. What we've seen them say is that they were able to gather the samples, they were able to gather some pieces of information, and they're using that to aid with every step of the investigation. So yes, we can only look forward to what happens, but 100% the crime scene was not preserved. And yeah, so this is where we are. We can only look forward to seeing as to whether the pieces of evidence gathered after about 2 or 3 days following the crime scene, people going in and out, as to whether those pieces of evidence will just be able to adequately aid with the investigation that's ongoing.
Thank you, Nelson. So law enforcement investigations do not have human sides, because the life that was lost is equal to another person's life. So if any police investigator will come up and tell me that, oh, we are looking at human side, and that will be flawed in their judgment, you don't compromise with anybody who's a suspect. You do your job and do it to the fullest, because you owe it to whomever the victim was to provide them justice. Now, the police also did not need a warrant to cordon off an active scene or a scene that is suspicious or is suspected to have been a crime scene. Mr. Jackson knew that fully well. That is why later on, after his posture, he allowed them to enter. It's clear in all jurisprudence that if a scene is active, there is not a need of a warrant. If the scene is declassified as being, it's not an active scene, and the resident is allowed back in that place, you can now need a search warrant to go and search. Or if you have suspicion that a scene is a scene of a crime and that wasn't, an active scene as of the time you went there, you would need a warrant to access that scene as well. So looking at the time span as well, 3 to 4 days of allowing multiple individuals access in and out. Remember, you do not know how the scene was. You are not a resident of that place. Preserving that scene is paramount to knowing where objects were at the time. What objects might have been destroyed, what objects might have been moved, where was there a pool of blood, reconstructing with pictures of how it looked like when you went there after the incident freshly occurred is very important. Then taking a suspect back to the scene without any pictures whatsoever of what the scene looked like when the incident occurred, you will be solely relying on that person's reconstruction. So the police know very well that crime scene preservation is number one, is the foundation of any investigation. So that particular process, Nelson, and I'm saying it based upon best practice, that particular process that occurred was a flawed one.
Yeah. So interestingly, everything that happened prior to the police moving in or the forensic team moving in was totally against what the process should be, especially in terms of the preservation of crime scene and so forth. But another thing to take into consideration here, Diamond, is that following that entire process, the forensic team moves in and they ask Mr. Jackson to give a vivid description of what the room looked like, what the entire environment looked like when he walked in and saw his wife in a pool of blood? What was the position? What position was she in at the time when he walked in? I mean, was her head on the bed? Was her head on the floor? Since in fact he said that his wife was found in the pool of blood, what exactly was the position? How much of blood did you have on the floor, for example, when he walked in? What was the situation? Okay, so she was unconscious. What was her position like when Mr. Jackson walked in? And based on that, the police or the forensic team was able to reconstruct the crime scene. Remember, even in the case where they have moved there, on the very day when the incident occurred, it would have been a bit difficult to just know exactly where Kamala Jackson was, her position, her head position, the position of her lower body, or where exactly was the pool of blood, and all of those different pieces of information. So the police or the forensic team at that point was primarily relying on the pieces of information provided by Mr. Sam Jackson to be able to reconstruct the crime scene. So what they did was asking him the pieces of asking him some necessary questions with respect to what the scene was when he walked in. So he did tell them that her upper body was on the bed and her lower body was on the floor. He did also mention that she was in a pool of blood. And based on those pieces of information, one of the team members, one of the folks from the forensic team, was asked to illustrate, to demonstrate the position Mrs. Jackson was in when Mr. Sam Jackson arrived in the room. So I have seen a couple of images with respect to the demonstration. So the lower body was on the bed. So what that means is Mrs. Jackson was found unconscious in her room with her head on the bed and her lower body on the floor. And then with respect to the pool of blood, there were concerns as well as to how come this lady's upper body was on the bed, but then she was in the pool of blood, when in fact the bed is made of fabrics that is capable of absorbing anything that is liquid like. How come there was a pool of blood when in fact it was her head that sustained the injury, the wound that led to the bleeding? Where was the pool of blood? Why was the pool of blood on the floor when in fact her upper body was on the bed and the bed is capable of absorbing anything that is liquid like? And then the next concern that was also raised after the reconstruction of the crime scene was the position of the cot. And the forensic team was very much concerned about that aspect as well. The cot was not at the front of the head. The cut was not at the back. The wound was not on the right or left side, but rather in the middle of the head. And so another question that came about was, okay, so this person was found unconscious. Apparently, she fell or she slipped or whatever, and she hit her head. So in the case where she fell on her face, the wound would have been at the front of the head. In the case where she fell on the back, it would have been at the back or at the right and left sides of the head. But the wound was in the middle of the head. And so those were all things that raised more questions, especially so when the forensic team went on with their own investigation. So Diamond, you are right when you mentioned that when you mentioned the issue about the preservation of the crime scene, which a lot of experts have also said that was not. Maybe the forensic team did not do much with respect to preserving the crime scene, but with the reconstruction of the crime scene, it then gave further understanding with respect to what happened in the room and further informed the investigation that is ongoing now, especially so with the position of the cut, in the middle of the head, her upper body being on the bed, but still in the pool of blood when the bed is something that absorbs liquid like. And, all of those different pieces of information are just what are going to determine what happens to Mr. Sam Jackson today. And Diamond, remember, today is pretty much going to be a defining moment in this particular case. As we stated repeatedly, Mr. Jackson could just walk out today a free man, and everything that has been said in the court of public opinion could just shift in his favor or he could walk out today with some charges pressed against him, and then the rest of the legal battle continuing there at the level of the court. Whichever way, the public is very interested, and that's exactly why we're here to keep providing the updates every step of the way. And Diamond, it's been pretty close to 1 hour since Mr. Jackson went in there, and we're looking forward to see what happens. I did see the family representative, Abednego Jackson, walk in there as well. He's a nephew to Mr. Sam Jackson, and I saw Councillor Griggs here, one of the legal representatives. I'm yet to see the other two legal representatives. Remember, Diamond, there were 4 lawyers. The first day we came here, it was Councillor Griggs alone representing the legal interests of Mr. Sam Jackson. The next day, we did see Anthony Jeremiah Dugo as well, form part of the legal team. And then the third day, I did see Councillor Sima Serena Seafers and Councillor Lafia Horatius Gu, who happens to be the chairman of the Alternative National Congress. So that brings to 4 the number of legal representatives that Mr. Sam Jackson has on this case. Of the 4 legal representatives, we've seen just 2 here. I didn't get to see Councillor Griggs go up there with Mr. Sam Jackson, but I did see Anthony Jeremiah Dugo going back and forth, in and out, making sure that he's up there representing the legal interests of Mr. Jackson. Councillor Serena Seafers, from all indications, is yet to make his way here. But he is that legal representative who did the communication. I think you saw the first communication from the Adaza group, global legal consultancy firm that addressed the communication to the Justice Minister, to the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, regarding their quest to have access to the legal remains, to the mortal remains of Mrs. Jackson, because they wanted to conduct their own autopsy rather. It was Councillor Sima Serena Seafers who signed that communication. Other communication going to Dr. Rockefeller, the independent autopsy of, let's say, pathologists they were bringing in for the next autopsy, was also signed by Councillor Sima Serena Seafers. So it seemed more like he is that person who's at the back end doing all of the communications, communicating with the different groups, hiring international experts to form part of this case, and so forth. But he's not seen out here most times with Mr. Sam Jackson, evident by what we've seen here today again. The last visit at Mr. Jackson's residence, we did see Councillor Gould. Councillor Gould was there, going in and out. You remember the last visit the forensic team paid at Mr. Jackson's residence. So he was there. So, but today we're not seeing the both of them. It's just Councillor Griggs and Anthony Jeremiah Dubois here, and they are making sure that they be up there with Mr. Jackson, providing the legal advice. Remember, Mr. Jackson, as you know, that is one person who will not hold back. Anytime you take the microphone to Mr. Jackson, he's willing to speak. You know, he's willing to express himself. He's that person who is an extrovert. He's not an
Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Namaste, wherever you're watching from.
I fixed it. There was an echo from my end.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our little humble little platform.
Yeah.
Double humble.
I hope Lynn Lapo is coming because I saw him post on Facebook. Somebody giving April Fool as an invitation to a wedding, and he said that's the only thing he hates because he doesn't take wedding lightly. So I said, is it an opportunity to eat free food or like a high issue you won't wear?
So, we'd like to welcome you guys to another edition of the Late Night Exchange. Oh, look at that. Can you imagine that? Nightlight Exchange.
Yeah, lightly exchange again.
Welcome, you guys. So, I'm tired. I'm full. After work today, I didn't have time to eat today, right? So, when I got off work, I was hungry, right? So, I decided, I said, well, it's late. Maybe I should eat something like, yeah, right. You're not from Liberia, right? If we don't eat rice all day, yeah, I haven't eating yet. So the Kasali was there. It was calling me. But it was late, George. But it was calling my name.
I know.
I couldn't even make it. I tried, but I couldn't make it. I had to go for that Kasali. And then when I got you eating the Kasali, I was so weak.
You have all the love in your eyes.
Yeah. I
But you
couldn't make
couldn't
it to abstain. I had to vote.
You see that thing that when they say self-discipline, you like that one. You see that the food made the largest thing.
Don't start disrespecting me, I'm sorry.
Kind of food.
I had to do something about that.
I think you're lean like what girl that you come on.
You don't even know why Lean like what feels so strongly about wedding. Maybe he feel like wedding is a very big step in a person's life. And it is what is it? What is the biblical side of it? That institution that God really, honor, right? So you don't know why, Lynn. Like, well, Lynn, please show up and defend yourself while I'm trying here. You don't know why he feels so strongly about that. So
he said both. He answered my question. He said for a high issue when you wear, the boy is short, so so she will all be high.
You know, see Lynn before.
Yeah, I told him that show. So she can all be high. He gets one of big bubble on his shoe to get at least another 3 inches,
So
and then it's cool. I'm sorry for him. He said that what again? That makes wedding important to him.
So hey, Nira, how are you doing today? Washington, Kentucky, always on time. Thank you, brother. How is it, brother? You're a brother, right? Or your sister? I don't know.
The Gmail?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a man.
That's a man's name.
Well, it could be somebody's son's. Because some people come on with a family member. But yeah, that's a man. Yes, but it was not good.
Well, Amy read that she left food.
Oh, look how fat I am. I love food. That's why I'm so chubby. That's why I'm so chubby. I gotta eat. So I'm not. What are you trying to mimic? I was skinny when I was in high school. I don't want to be skinny again. So I don't want to be overweight either. But I like some meat in my bones.
That's it.
I don't care who don't like it. I like some. It's my bones. I like some meat on it. So
that's good. That's good to hear. Meat is always good on the bone. You don't want to just eat it. Anyway, let me just stop right there. I can't go any further.
I had to course and keep going.
100% agree with that. Meat on the bone, that's my thing. So that's good. So I'm gonna say much before I get in trouble.
Don't say much. But anyways, George, today I don't know. I have a mixed feeling about this. Why I like justice to be served, but I also feel a little sad inside, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that my feelings should be used as a, you know, means to twat justice or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
still, I'm a human, right? I feel a little sad inside for Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I would say. And because for some reason, I have a feeling that if he did what he's been accused of, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't planned that, you know, that he was gonna. He didn't plan it.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I think went out of hand. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it would be more of a manslaughter to me. I'm not a law enforcement.
That's what they are charging him for. For
Don't
actually,
put
yeah.
me. Yeah. But I don't think it would be like murder, first degree or whatever, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
think they should be like do negligence and you know, manslaughter kind of thing. That's what but nevertheless, when I saw him today, I kind of felt a little bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's older. He doesn't deserve at this age, right? That's why we all need to be careful what we doing, because you never know, man. The devil can be sitting right there. They say, "Oh, they tea already shaking." Then you go push
Mm-hmm.
her, right? And those shaking bad behind you.
None of your business. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not eating on the show. So yeah,
Sorry, sorry.
and so while I was just playing this video today, you know, I was working when it happened, but I was just watching it, and when I see
Yeah.
him, I felt a little sad. So I don't know.
Amy. Oh, sorry. I don't know where you finished here.
Yeah,
I
go
just want
ahead.
to come in. Amy, I still disagree with the charges. I think um, the thing is, I will have our own opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I am not putting feelings into this. I don't know Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam doesn't know me.
I don't know him either.
Yeah. And the thing is that, but for me, he shouldn't be charged for any murder, not even. And guess what? The government case is so lame that it even makes up everything. Amy. I think the only thing that pisses me off about Sam Jackson, what the hell you have to be holding a traffic up?
There's a lot of
They may
back
not get
and
bail.
forth.
Why is he holding a traffic up? You tell me that he's holding one traffic a day, you holding the traffic a day. No bail, or why you always wear B traffic? Now the problem again, it makes him look
At
guilty or
this
something.
point, that's the most important thing to you. That man is fighting for his life, and you talking about pants dropping.
No,
If
I
Uncle
think
Sing can
I think
walk
he
in
will
the
be
street with boxer
exonerated.
on, he will walk if he can get his freedom right now.
I think he'll be exonerated because the case is so lame. I think the government or the police did this thing because they knew that they screw up. So they just got to save their face to charge this man because that's why they keep mixing it up. You know what I mean? And that, the mixture of what the cocktail they have cooked for themselves, it will not hold in court because if you say, okay, you say they say the statement he made after the lady passed.
Mhm.
What the hell that would mean anything when anybody can say anything?
What's the man?
He said I don't know. Um, he called ambulance and there was no ambulance, so he had to pull in his car and drive. Blah blah blah. Circumstantial. You know what I mean? That's what they call that about evidence. Circumstantial evidence that there's no clear clue how the person died. And I see some people on Facebook writing that how was the door
Come
locked?
on,
Why
man.
did he open the door?
There's a lot of background noise, George.
Yeah, I know.
You sitting next to the kitchen or something?
Yes, I'm next to the kitchen. Yeah, sorry about that.
You might want to
But yeah,
move away.
it's gonna go away soon. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gone. Don't worry. So you see, I mean that's the thing. I think the government they don't have a case, but they're trying to save the face because of what they did. Because they first announcing as person of interest and then announcing as suspect. Moving from person of interest to suspect, there should be a lot of evidence between there. You know what I mean? A lot of things that happened there. But I don't think they had that in mind. That they now have enough to move from that stage to the next stage. And when they moved to the next stage of being suspect, there was no turning back. You know what I mean? They felt ashamed to go back on their word. So that's why they continued to go ahead. And that's why it took the longest to charge him. I
feel
think if they had,
ashamed. What's so ashamed about
I say embarrassed.
investigating
I
and
was embarrassed. Yeah, I think they were embarrassed to go back on their word because they stuck up. And I mean, this thing shouldn't be rocket science. You know, somebody, you know, like Samuel Jackson, you know what I mean? And they said there was scar on the head and there was another scar, and then they said historical, I don't know, confrontation between two of them, you know, like fighting between two of them. How will, you know, a relationship that had maybe domestic violence involved, how does it indicate that at this particular point? Because you know what? Like in economics or science or whatever it is,
This is murder.
what happens is that Amy, it is at a point. You know what I mean? When they say cash flow, right? In economics, cash flow account is at a particular point. On this point, on this day, we have this cash flow. You know what I mean? Let me forget about
Yeah, don't try because it's not adding up.
when you say murder, it must be at a point. It can be the person murdered the person from 2 years ago, murdered the person, and that the murder yet. No, murder takes place at a point. So at this point, were they fighting? That's the question you have to answer. Were they fighting at this point, or the person died of
Yeah.
some fall or something? You know what I mean? So
But
you cannot
George,
say because of historical evidence that they've been having a fight, so that means that it happened there. No, you have to establish beyond every reasonable doubt that at this point they were fighting and the woman passed. And guess what? That's why you have even a chance to charge somebody with manslaughter because you said I was accidental death, right? Accidental death you can charge for manslaughter because you feel like Amy, let's say you and myself get into a fight, right? You know you can't fight me, but
I
you know
would
what
be
I'm saying?
you. I would
You
blood
beat
you
me.
bad
And then,
way.
and then, and then, and then someone away, I go where you go dodge me, you hit your head against the wall. I forget about what happened next, right? That is accidental. I did not mean to hit your head on the wall. You know what I mean? But your head hit against the wall. You know what I mean? And even if I hit you and your head went and hit against the wall, it's still I did not intend to do what the end result is, right? But I intended to hit you. You get me? So you can still charge me for manslaughter and not murder. Murder is when you have a plan. Say I'm going to Amy's house. That girl been pissing me off. Every time I say, you know, I want to put her to eat chicken, she said no. You know, she's doing other things, so I'm going there to her house. You get me? Then you see, then you see,
George,
before you start
you're
to
not adding
explain,
up at all.
no, Amy,
You're not
that's the
adding
whole
up at
argument.
all. And you're
It is
start making this
plain.
thing about opposition and imposition,
No,
whatever.
I am not,
Let
Amy,
me tell
I
you
am not.
something.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason of going back on the history of domestic violence
Mm-hmm.
with all the bruises I was seeing on her,
Mm-hmm.
with the way she died, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to put the puzzles together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it could have happened the first time he hit her. It could have
Mm-hmm.
happened the second time he hit her. So what if it didn't happen?
Mm-hmm.
So the fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth time it happened, and the devil having to be standing there and having like she died, that means that you tore everything away that you just focus on now. You
No.
see, you trying to let it the ground work like this is a pattern that
Mm-hmm.
has been happening. There's nothing wrong with going back, especially domestic violence, because that's something that keep going on. And you're trying to prove that that day, the same thing he been doing from January to whatever to March. That's what happening. That was the same thing happening. And unfortunately, she lost her life this time. There's
Okay.
nothing about them setting the record and saying domestic violence from that doesn't mean he
Mm-hmm.
killed her from January. No, they're trying to set the premises and how long these things been happening and why they think he killed her because this is how he been handling her because these things have been happening
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is what was happening this day and she mistakenly died from it like you said. He tried to hit her and then he then planned that the same thing. Oh, I did it in January, nothing happened to her. I just whooped the crap out of her. So I'm doing it again. But then mistakenly you go hit her somewhere in her chest, on her head, or push her somehow, and then she hit her head. Not that you plan to kill her, but what you did, kill her.
Yeah. So
So
Amy.
negligent or something or manslaughter and stuff like that. It doesn't mean they can't arrest you because you did it in January and you got away with it and nothing happened to her. So for you to say that, what was the point of that? That's what that point was. You have to set that. You know, you go to court. That's what you have to set the ground rules. That this is how, this is the man behavior. He always hitting on this woman, and this day it happened that he hit her in the wrong way, or he did something, and this is what happened to her. You have to set that. You know, you have to give that picture to the juror to kind of convict him or not.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the point of doing that. It's always something that, you know, when you do something, if it's not murder, let's say you robbing a store or being a thief, or you know, some kind of robber and something, you robbed the bank, you never got caught. You know, they would bring all that history up to say this is not your first time, your first offense. So they would have to put that together, investigators. I'm not an investigator, but like I said, I watch, you know, Law and Order and Criminal Minds and all of that. So I'm using my TV investigation here, okay, to tell you
Your TV investigator skills, eh?
what can happen. But yeah, they have to do that to come up to that. And
Maybe I agree with you partially.
On her, yeah. How
I
did
agree
this
with you partially.
get on her? So there was pictures before. Oh, so this is what's been happening. And then he had a friend that said, "Oh yeah, I saw him do this to her." This is all of that is building up a case against him. It doesn't something that find out. Oh no, it just happened in last year, so that one got nothing to do with what happened now. No, the only thing there is for them to prove how he did it now that she died, right? If he really did it, what did he do to her? How did he do it? They're not gonna say, "Oh, because he punched her in the mouth in January." That's the same thing he did. No, you gotta show what killed her.
Yeah, exactly, Amy. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you when it comes to that. So here's the thing. Let me give you another analogy, right? Let's say, like when I was growing up, they used to beat me for tea, breakfast, and dinner. And the thing is that because I used to be stubborn, right? So that 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 I don't know what I should call it, abuse or flocking or discipline. That discipline that we used to,
What you African?
that discipline. Now we can call it abuse anyway. So that discipline that I used to get.
Women wasn't that abuse. I discipline.
Let's say
discipline.
let's say my parents were harsh and they used to discipline me. And there is documented or historical documentation that explains that my parents used to really be harsh on me. They used to discipline me hardly, right? But let's say this time I did something stupid and I decided to escape. I fell through the window and then something happened to me, right? That historical evidence is there, right? They used to beat me, but they did not kill me. I was trying to escape because I did something I knew that when they hear they would beat me, so I was escaping what the window and I fell. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say now. So guess what now? What these people need to do, even before going to historical evidence, is to establish, just like you said, to establish that at this time, this is what happened. So one day established, then they say, hey, you see that what happened? And it happened before they been beating him. You see it? So you got to establish now, say, Sam Jackson, before he went to the to OKMM for that interview, he abused his wife, left her unconscious, locked the door on her, went, and then to establish alibi, he decided to call. And here is the evidence from the room, the people that work with him and all that door is never locked. But that particular day when he was leaving, he locked the door because he knew that if the girls or the housemaid or whoever was going to be cleaning up go in the room and find the wife there, and they would know that he left her like that. So he locked the door on her and went, right? I'm assuming now, I don't want anybody on this radio station or on the radio station or on this chat to say this is what happened. I'm assuming. I'm trying to give a scenario here. Then, of course, there's a proof in the house that this guy never used to lock the door on his wife. Or his wife, when she's in the room, she never locked the door. But on a particular morning, the door was locked, and the door was locked from the outside. It was not locked from the inside, right? All those things have to be established. So if the room was locked from the inside, did they break into the door when he came back to enter to see what was happening to her? Because I assume that most people in their room, when they are in their room, when they lock the door inside, they don't take the key out, right? It's almost, I can't say impossible. People do that, but most people don't do that. They leave the key in it. So once the key is in it, you cannot put another key in it to open it. So did he break the door to enter? If he did break the door to enter, that means the first thing is that he did not leave her unconscious. She locked the door on herself, right? So all these things have to be established. When they are established, then of course you go. Then of course you can judge now for your own judgment. Did he accidentally kill her? Was this murder accidental? They fire. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to get us into trouble yet. They fire. Is it?
Yeah, I was
accidental
say,
or was
wow,
it intentional? Yeah. Was this fire? Was it? Was it Dibi Dyer? Was it intentional or mistaken that he panicked? When you were on a radio station, did you see any panic in him? Was he not his normal self when he went on the radio? Well, I watched him that morning. I was live on the TV on the Facebook and I was watching him on a whole interview. I watched the whole interview. Sam Johnson was Sam Johnson. Happy as ever.
Yes,
Last the government and put into a lot of policies prescription that he knew that would change Liberia. That's what he was doing.
well,
So the heavy load for this government is to prove whether Sam Johnson had a hand in his wife's death. And for me, all of the
you know,
evidence that the police director has narrated does not establish beyond all reasonable doubt that Sam Johnson knew anything about this thing.
well, it's something I always see y'all do, right? And I try to stay away from when you're saying they have no evidence. They have no. It was the same thing when they fired.
Well, they have evidence, but it's not sufficient.
It was same things that I made shows. So to say
Super
they
pressure,
had,
man.
they had no evidence. They don't have no somebody. They're struggling. They're doing this. These people they are not coming. I don't think the IG came out to tell us everything that made them to charge this man with or murder or whatever or manslaughter or negligence or whatever. They did not lay everything out. He just said from the surface, right? He just says, he did not go into depth to say, oh, we went, and mind you, they had the house help then too. Remember, they took them into custody. I think both of them. You don't know what those people said. You don't know what they told the police, right? So, like, what you saying that what happened? How is the door locked? And all of that. And I overheard when the first something that one of the cook or houseboy, however he called them, said that he sent him for a spoon or whatever, and he came back. He was opening the door himself. So it's a lot that we don't know. All we can say is you be transparent. We want to know what happened, right? We want to hear the evidence and stuff like that. But to say, oh, they don't have it, or they don't have any such, concrete, and they don't have no this, they're struggling, and if they had to do that, they would be shame. What's embarrassing? What's shame in investigation? The person did it or they didn't do it. What's that to be shame about? Oh, we held him as person of interest because he was their husband. He was the last person to see the person alive. All of that. There's no shame in this thing yet. Why does it have to be about, oh, they were going to be embarrassed? They were going to, no, I don't think so. If the person did it, the person can be person of interest, and later on, they be dropped off that list. They can be suspect and later on be dropped off that list. It depends on what they found, what they, what witnesses that come up next or tell them. So there's no shame in this game, George. There's no shame here. There's nothing to be ashamed of here. You either got the person or you don't. He's either free or he's not. I don't think anybody want to say, oh, let me make it to make it. You can't go issue on anybody in this kind of stuff, George. You cannot say, oh, I don't want to be ashamed. So small shame is better than be ashamed. You go try somebody for murder, or you go try somebody for manslaughter, or this and that, and then you don't have any evidence that proves that, and then the person go to court and come like, what would that be like? Instead of you from the get-go, you didn't have any evidence, so you let it go. Then you say, oh, because I'll be embarrassed, so let me just charge him. Let me not let him go. I don't think that's what's going on. I think that would be.
I think like I said from the beginning, we all have our own opinion about this case. The only thing that can now speak. Today, I listened to Spoon Talk and I listened to something that really touched my mind today
Mhm.
about our legal system, how it works, and how people can um, misuse their powers and their advocacy as well in the wrong place. Lafayette Gu made a point today
Mhm.
on Spoon Talk. And here's what he said. He said, and I'm not going to be verbatim because, it's been, a little while because I try to analyze in my own way as well. So I won't be as, very, I will not be verbatim. I will not be exact. I will not use the exact words. He said, the
Mhm.
people who are saying today that Sam Jackson did this, these are the same people that are advocating against us. When we were in the prosecution, DA of Liberia, when we said nobody entered their house at Musu Sports Facility. The people in the house killed this young girl. These are the same people that were saying we're lying, that were going against this woman for political reasons. When we came up and said this house that we look at, all the evidence we brought it, that only the little window and the security are the one that broke the window for somebody to come out of their house. Any death that took place in that house was the cause of all those 4 or 3 people that are in that house. They were the cause of the death. These people were advocating against us. They said we're doing it for political reasons. And it kind of touched me that somebody will be killed and then people will make politics out of it. That's what I don't do with my politics. My politics don't work like that. My politics is what I'm convinced about. And that's the thing.
Mm.
And if I'm convinced, I might be wrong, but that's my conviction. So
And
crucify me
what
for my
makes you think the
conviction.
other people don't have a conviction that
But Amy,
something's
if
wrong?
somebody bring in front of me now, as a sound person, right? You and myself. If somebody comes in front of me now and say, okay, the door was locked from the outside at St. Jackson House.
Mm-hmm.
My tenant will go up. Toot! Why did he lock the door to go? You know what I mean? He took the keys. And then when he came, he used his key to open the door. That means there was no key inside blocking him. St. Jackson, you are in trouble. I would say plain blank. St. Jackson, you are in trouble. You might have known something was wrong in that room and you didn't want anybody to see it.
What did
So
you know?
I use my intuition. No, Amy, but they are not established the fact that the door was locked from inside or it was not even broken into. They have not established that fact. All they are doing, what they are saying is all circumstantial things they're talking around. Oh, the beer before and there were mark on hay. And somebody can fall and get mark on a hay. So,
No,
all those things have to be established.
the house help said when they
Yeah.
first started the investigation, the house help said that when he came back, he asked him to go get him something. I think spoon or something. And then on his way back, they had the house help now. He saw Uncle Sam opening the door to go inside. And it could be the wife could have locked the door from the inside
Yeah.
and he could be gone. He come back and whatever happened to her and he used his key to open it for him from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. Or he could lock the door while he was going. And so it's 2 things that could happen, right? So the fact that no one saw her alive or heard her when he left and he came back, he left her to where he left her and came back, and he was the first person to see her. He was the last person to see her and left and came back. He was the first person to see her. And I mean, so are they supposed to grab the house help and everybody and say they all got something to do with it too?
Amen.
And I don't know why people always try to bring this sentiment or they did something to me, so it's happening in another way. Let me bring it up, right? So I don't know what Lafayette Goose said, but that has nothing to do with what they said happened in the former Chief Justice house. This lady had multiple accounts of things that were happening in her house, called the police and all of that. Those were evidence to show that someone broke into her house. And the neighbors that day when they came that morning before they got there, the neighbors said they came into the place because they called the police and the police, they took like 2 hours or 3 hours before the police came. or the 6 hour, whatever but it took very long time before they show up. The neighbors were the one that went in there to rescue them. So how dare he said that no one was there? And so when the neighbors says what they were talking live, everybody got Facebook Live. They was speaking live before the police got there, and they started saying, so why would he say that this and that and that and that and this when the neighbor said something different? When they went in that fence and they were saying something different. So that's why it did not add up. Because they were complaining that these people call and nobody show up. So that whole case, there was somebody saw all of the investigation that needed to be done. They went and saw a male DNA on the girl nails. Was there any male in the house? No. But they ignored it. All of that came up. How can he explain that? There was 3 old ladies that couldn't even walk good. They were putting it in the car, they're going like this, and I was like, people that killed somebody there, and one little girl.
Just give me a second. Yeah.
So comparing this and say, oh, it happened when we did this one year, that's what and so. It's just like a baby crying. I don't know. They always have to compare apples or oranges. It's not the same thing. Because the whole evidence or whatever from that, you had to go eat and come back. Everything that it got, and it was that case was very flawed. It was very tricky. It was a lot going on with that case.
And this case is not flawed to you?
No.
It's straightforward, this one.
No, because you know why? This lady, and from Uncle Sam's own mouth. That's why I wish he would have shut up.
No, but Amy, I don't want you to shut up. I want you to expose himself. I want you to expose himself.
Okay, then what he did very well doing that. Because from the way he explained,
let me give you the similarity.
From what he said, he came back home, his wife was laying on the bed in a pool of blood. Mm-hmm. Where was she bleeding from? She was laying on the bed. I mean, how is she bleeding? We see mark in the middle of her head, not from the back, not from the front, in the middle of her head. Was she was beating? She was flipping when she fell. Is she having to fall or whatever? I mean, it was a lot that if he would have sealed, his mouth a little bit. I'm not saying I'm trying to make anybody to get away with whatever, but at least they can say you have the right to remain silent, and the teacher will be used against you in the court of law. And this is what's happening now. He's supposed to shut up and not go his whole, behavior and everything, and it just gave him up, and that's why I made the whole thing to just flip on him.
Yeah. So Amy, let me come there. I want this man to expose himself. I want the truth. I want the truth to come out. So I want people to talk. Yeah. So let's say Sam Jackson called. Because I listened to the Spoon show when he called on Spoon. He couldn't go up there. Center was trying to shut up. He couldn't shut up because he was shocked. Now what I'm saying, right? He kept talking, oh, my wife, my people, well, I hope she's going to get well. And he was talking. If you play that tape, you remember that you were talking over and over and over and over. And even Center tried to pull him off the air, he couldn't go up. But guess what, Amy? The whole fact of the matter is that we don't care, or maybe that's a stronger term, but we don't want to mix this with past events. We are talking about a specific day, what happened to this girl. Let me tell you, I had a family member who was having seizures, right? And this lady even fell in the fire because so many checkers, right? She fell in the fire and had to take her from there. Somebody was close there to take her from there. Most of the people, when fire can trigger their spare and stuff like that. Yeah, so it can happen. So this lady might have been falling so many times. And I think the medical evidence already proved that this lady had been falling. In the plane she hit or she fell. In America she fell. In Liberia she fell. So let's now look at the complexion of this lady and tell me, say, no mark will be on her body when she falls down. There will be marks. So we cannot look at that and say that what happened that day and that what happened that day.
I don't think that's no, George.
Let me finish. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that Sam Jackson came back. the most, very essential evidence I want is that door was it locked from outside or from inside. I want that evidence.
That's
Right?
gonna convince you whether he did it or not.
No, it will not convince me why he did it or not, but it will convince that he knew what was happening. It will convince me that he knew what was happening.
I
And
don't
if
think
that
so.
door was locked, if that door was locked from the outside, then he has questions. So to me, if I'm the investigator, I'll say, why
No,
did you lock the? Then I'll
no,
ask the
George.
hospital.
She
Yeah,
could
if
have
he
liked
can't,
the
he
door
can't let me
inside.
solve that problem. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead, finish.
yeah. He said, okay, if she locked the door from inside,
Mm-hmm.
then of course I say, okay, that means she was fine when Samuel left. That tells me that he didn't know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But if it was locked from the outside
Mm-hmm.
and he came and put a key inside and opened the door, he said, oh my wife. I was just saying, why
Stop
did
it.
you lock? Yeah, why? Stop it here. Why did you lock this woman in? Yeah, that's much actually going to come outside until you come back. What he said, according to him, yeah, he was to the play. He called, said, they supposed to go do shopping. So she must go and get ready, get dressed, so they can go.
Nobody got her though.
Yeah, guess what? So he said when he called, she couldn't pick up the phone. So he called the house help to go and knock on the door again. Whether he was trying to find an alibi or he was actually, intending to reach his wife and he couldn't reach her, then of course it's tricky between there, right? But here's the thing.
That's why I wanted to tell you. It's a little tricky between it.
Yeah, Amy. So but the one thing I will answer the whole question is that was the door locked? Was the door broken into? If it was broken into to enter, then we'll say the key was inside, so he couldn't use his own key to open it, right? And if all that happened, same Jackson, why did you lock your wife in the house? If it did not happen now, if you lock it from outside, why did you lock her in? Is she your baby? Is she your child? Is she shouldn't be coming outside? Is she your case person? Are you enslaving her? Do you take her passport away and you don't want to run away from you because you're old and she's young and she can find any man? Is that what you're trying to do? I will ask him that question, Amy. But if you lock herself in and he came back and knocking the door and she cannot open the door and he broke the door, or maybe she took the key from there and opened the door and opened it and they saw her there and everybody came and saw her and then they took her to the hospital. Amy then investigated, then it becomes tricky now to establish whether he knew about it. That's the whole thing. I put this in my shoe, this would be my relative. If Sam Johnson actually knew about this, then he go to prison and rot in prison. Well, if he did not do it, we cannot convict an innocent person. Let me tell you, in law, they say it is good to let a guilty person go than to convict an innocent person.
Well, listen to me. This is where there's no with that place where you say you want to establish what happened there. It's very hard to do so, because what if the door was one of these things that you just turn like this? It's not something that you put key in and open, right? From the inside, you just turn it like that.
Yeah, I know that.
Right? So it can, and then from the outside, you can put key in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been he could have liked it on the outside when he was going, then or she could have liked it from the inside. So that place is not going to give you no clear picture. I don't think whatever he says there can go, because okay, I came back, I couldn't get her to open the door, so I took my key and opened it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So that's like it can happen like that.
The mechanism of the door, is here.
Yeah.
So that what you can have to establish.
Yeah. So it's
not about door lock. They are not easily found in Liberia. Don't about door. They are not easily found in Liberia. Most of the houses I go to, they are not that type of door there. Yeah, you got type of door that you get. Yeah. You can use key, you can use your personal key from outside, but inside you can only squeeze the knob and turn it. That little thing, yeah. I got it to my door as well. But Amy, so that's the thing. If somebody can explain to me, Amy, I'm not. Who told you I want somebody to die for free, Amy? I don't want somebody to die for free. I want justice for everyone, Amy. You can be my worst enemy. I want justice for you, because nobody deserves to die. Nobody deserves Everyone has a future. God created everyone for a reason, and that reason will have to accomplish it. Not somebody forcibly taking us from here. So if I get flat evidence that this guy knew about it, then he rot in prison. But why should we manufacture or without clear evidence see that this man did it? Let me. You said
Why
something, and
would
I
you
want
say
to.
manufacturer when you don't even know yet what happened?
Yeah. So here's the thing, Amy.
Because
You
right
said
now
something. You said something here. You said something here that really touched me a lot. And you said there is no correlation between what happened at Moses Scott's house to what happened to Sam Jackson's house. I will agree with you partially, but then I will hold you responsible for a few things here. And here's what I'm going to hold you responsible for. Musu's house was locked. The entire house, fence was locked. Doors were locked in the house. There was no intruder that opened any door. Right? To say the person ran away. No door open.
What is that?
No. Yeah, but Amy, I'll tell you that security in front of the gate. And the security in front of the gate that then went when the woman was yelling in the bathroom, that then broke in the bathroom window because they never had a key to open the door.
The same security that had what's the many phone number in his phone? The one that was using?
No, they're not him.
George, that case was like it was yesterday.
You see, that's the thing. It's always good to be impartial when you are looking at these things. I don't know that girl who passed away. I don't know
any of them.
I'm trying to go by the evidence that was presented.
Exactly.
So now you're trying to bend this thing and say because the security had there wasn't
anybody who watching who knows that story, please put it up and tell me if I'm trying to manufacture anything. What would I get from it to free the Chief Justice and the old lady? Then I couldn't even walk. What is my pay from that? And this young girl who lost her life. I'm telling you the evidence that I heard as well. We both heard it. I'm not making anything up here. I'm telling you what I heard.
Yeah, Amy. So yes, my own analysis about that. I think Musu Scott, the two old ladies, and her daughter knew who killed that girl in her house, and the person who actually committed that murder is among the four of them.
Okay.
There is no if or but about it.
Four women, right?
But you know what the Bible says? Jesus is a silent listener to every conversation. He will not talk, but he's listening. And he alone will reward those.
There were four women in our house, right?
Yes. No, 5.
No, there were 4.
2 old ladies, the daughter of Musu,
2 old ladies, the little girl,
the girl who died,
and the Chief Justice. Okay, and the girl, I was not counting the girl who died.
Yeah, no, we got to go there as well.
We're talking about the suspects, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lady the girl had a male DNA on her nail. Where did that male comes from?
Amy.
And then they dismissed that evidence.
No, Amy, let me ask you a question before you go ahead. How long can a DNA stay on somebody's fingernail when you went to your barbering house and came from there and went home and everything? How long? I just want to ask you a question because
she was scratching you to do the taco.
No, Amy, if you scratch somebody, oh God, yeah, we go. But Amy, here's the thing. I will tell you.
You better get it.
Yes, but Amy, So you said
no, she went to her boyfriend's house. She scratched him.
The same DNA they went to analyze again. They said was inconclusive. The same DNA again. That when they said the phone on first they said it was real DNA. When it went to analyze again, they said it was inconclusive.
When did it go analyze it again? They said it was inconclusive.
We worked him out of that case. Read.
No, you sent it to me. I did not. Maybe I missed that part.
I have it in my phone.
Please send it to me
after the show. So let me explain to you now what happened. So when they went to examine the DNA again, they said the DNA was inconclusive because they wanted to compare it to Telly. I know Telly, I know that Telly man. Yeah, Valley Telly, good. They wanted to compare to Valley Telly, but it was
No, George, don't come here and do that. Don't do that. They never did any DNA comparison to that man. He even disappeared. His girlfriend or his phone number was with Jefferson Kochi phone number. I don't even know I'm not gonna, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the comment section, something about his number being in the security main phone or Jefferson Coach, somebody's phone number, both of them phone number kind of crisscrossing in that area somewhere. And then when they dismissed all of that, and they convicted those 3 old ladies in that local. Where did okay, let's agree to what you said. She went to her girl, she went to her boyfriend's house.
The law says.
She went to her boyfriend's house.
Mhm.
What? She was scratching her boyfriend?
No,
Is that how her DNA got on her nails?
I mean, I just it was hypothetical, right? But just the reason I gave that was that how long can a DNA stay on somebody? How can a DNA stay on somebody's thing on
If you don't
right?
clean it from there, would be there.
If at all, that DNA they say there was some male DNA, but when it brought forensic how they call it pathologists to how they call it to examine the DNA, they said the DNA was inconclusive. That means you could not tell because it was so small. You could not tell whether it was male or female DNA. So
No.
let's forget about that. So how does it explain that the entire house was sealed? Nobody could enter the house from outside, and nobody left the house until the security went there. How does that explain that?
So who says entire house was sealed when these people said that their house was broken into, and when the neighbor said that they came and took these people out through the window? So this is why I was kind of confused about house was sealed, house was down something into the people on the scene telling you this, and then somebody telling you say house was sealed, but these people who downplay the male DNA and all of that. And then this,
we're looking at the house now. We're looking at the house scenario.
Y'all keep on, talking about the security guy. The security guy is already compromised because why? They saw something where he now was already connected to the person that was being accused, the male that was being accused. How his phone number, invited Taylor or whoever phone number or something. How does that happen? And he was a security guard. So why are we still mentioning the guy as some kind of credible? Who knows to put him there to be some kind of what?
You're getting the whole case messed up in your head.
No, I'm not.
Yes, why you're getting it messed up. The only reason Valley Teller was not a security to the woman's house. Valley Teller was not a security to the woman's house. Valley Teller had never been security to the woman's house.
I'm not saying he was.
Guess what?
Phone number was sent in the security or something. I think that's how they so remember the lady son used to come on the show with us to explain this thing.
Yes.
And then they call when they call the lady, she said her husband or her boyfriend, I don't know who Valley Teller was, his wife or whatever, was using their phone that time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how did this number end up in the security guy phone? Who's supposed to be in front of this lady house? And then this Valley Teller man name has been mentioned in it. Mm-hmm. That whole thing was a low setup around it. I'm sorry. That's why somebody something not right somewhere. Okay,
Amy,
so
let's get this thing right.
Let's
forget about our circumstances.
I don't know why.
We're gonna go by it, but let me just say the one day last time. Let's forget about all that circumstantial evidence. Somebody phone number. Yeah, it's circumstantial. I mean, it's not that right. So here's the thing. Let's forget about who telephone number because anybody can call anybody's phone. So let's forget about circumstantial. Let's look at even when the security is there, there will not one security to the house. There are always two. Okay. So when the security
one security guy, you're not made in two already.
Let me talk, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me talk. The thing is that if at all this house is not broken into, Samuel Jackson room is not broken into. That means the killer must have been in the room. Once that room was not broken into, Samuel Jackson's wife is dead on the floor in the room, and the door is locked from the inside. Whoever bar her or DVD her must be in the room. That's the correlation now between Busu Scott and this man. I'm trying to tell you the similarity and the difference now. So if at all, this woman's door was locked from the inside, as well as Busu Scott's door was locked from the inside, and the keys were her. Busu herself, because she said she locked her doors before she go to bed. She take her keys and go with her in the house. So as long as This door was not locked on the outside. No key was outside to open this door. And somebody did it down, somebody in the house. The person who did that person, when the doors were not broken and the roof was not blown off, the person who did that person will either be in, will be definitely be in the house.
Absolutely.
That is logic. Exactly. So it will come to St. Jackson. If St. Jackson door was locked from the inside, and his wife was did that inside, whoever did that must have been in the room. It cannot be any other way. So that is two correlation there. So if you say Musu Scott, every door was locked and she had all her keys in her hand, and the thing happened, and the people came around and got people passed through the window they put the bystander that didn't keep the community came and broke through the window for the lady body of those ladies, the old lady who said could not walk, for them to climb over the wall and pass through the small window. When they could do it.
But who said the window was 10 feet tall?
I saw the picture. I saw the video, everything. The window all the way up. You know, bathroom window can be down. You just say, bathroom window can be down. Bathroom window can be down. Get it ordinary window. It can be way up. It can be way up and small. So no.
Who said it passed through the bathroom window?
That the bathroom window passed through, Amy.
Nobody can pass through a bathroom window.
Amy, they broke the glass and passed through the window. That's what I'm trying to tell you now. So here's what happened. Once you can say there's no differentiation or there's no similarity in these two things, then of course I'm afraid. Then we need to maybe bring something else to talk about, because I really think there are a lot of similarities in the story.
So
if they not convey Musu Scott, if you thought Musu Scott not guilty, then of course
St. Jackson
cannot be guilty. Thank you. Let's
This is not politics or district 10. Okay? But listen. All right, let's see. So this is the difference in my case, right? Or in my opinion. Uncle Sam had walked out of his room, right? And went out. Was that lady alive, or was she conscious when he was leaving, or was she unconscious, or whatever it is? Nobody knows at this point, right? These people, no one went out of that house. They were in the house, was sleeping or whatever they were doing. So that's two different things you're naming. She was alive. The house helps did not hear her. They didn't see her. Uncle Sam was the last person and the first person to see her when he left and when he came back. He went out and came back in. So he said he tried to call his wife. She wasn't picking up. He tried to get a house help to call his wife.
Amy, just a second.
No, you're not
getting. Thank you very much for that analysis. I like people to be impartial. Thank you. Put a comment there, the last comment. Put it on the screen, please, Amy.
Oh, now you like Lean like what? Like you and Vasco. Was somebody say something like your side? What Lean like what's there? Like oh, he said, Amy, I took my time to listen to that case from both sides and evidence. And unfortunately, I concluded that the family killed that girl. Okay, that's his opinion too.
You see, and that's the problem with me. So, I always want to be impartial.
No, you're not impartial. Let me wait here. Just throw it because you're not yelling, man. So, anyways.
I know. Are you a Reverend ULJ? And you be there, you say, this boy, I used to know Joy for a long time. He used to be very impartial. And I think I'll just wake up and put slap on your back and go lay down here.
But listen, so Uncle Sam was the only person who, I mean, can somebody say he was looking for alibi when he called the house helps to go check on the door to see to say, oh yeah, the man called, yeah, they should, it could be. We don't know that. Did he? I mean, were they there? This is what I want to know too, George. Were these people at work before Uncle Sam left?
One was there before Uncle Sam
left.
And one came
do they sleep there or they come in the morning?
They come to work. They come to work in the morning. They don't leave them. So
that's another thing, because if they were there to sit and sleep there, then you would say, okay, so why the what happening? Did they hear anything? You understand what I'm saying? you would ask if they heard any noise or something like that. But if they came to work, then it could be, if something like that would have happened, it could happen before they got there, right? So there could be no way. And when they got there, from the time they were there till he left and came back, they did not see the lady. They didn't hear her. Nothing like that. You understand? So that would mean you can't tell me that lady in there all day and lock herself up while the house help out there, and she did not bother at all. You understand? To come outside or water breakfast or whatever. I don't even know what time of the day it was.
In the morning,
And
very early morning, because OK FM starts early in the morning. The OK morning rush is around, I think, 9, 8.
Okay. So the only thing we would need to know here is, or maybe they have already established that her morning routine, George. If these people come to work in the morning, what is the morning routine? What is your interaction? Does she come out? Does she come out to get coffee? Does she come out to get tea? What does she do in the morning when she wake up? When y'all came in that morning, did y'all see her doing any of that? Did she come out? Did she call any of y'all? All of those things would have to be a part of that to know whether she was okay when he left her, okay, before he came back. And then again, all of that may have already been established, but they're not bringing all of that evidence out in the public right now when they're not in court to come tell us that this is what we got and this is what we found when this one happened, as if they're already in court. No, they're all that to the jury, not us. Maybe when they go into it, that's when we will hear it, but not. I just think that something went wrong. It wasn't planned, right? And then if it happened, something was that going on, and then it happened, and then he freaked out, right? So if she was still alive when he got there and took her to the hospital at the time, maybe if he would have done this sooner, she would still be alive. Because how long, if that is the case, I'm not saying that's what happened, but let's assume, right? This is what happened. They were doing that, and then he mistakenly hit her somewhere, and then she passed out. He freaked out when he saw her bleeding and all of that. And then he left her and went to OK FM. How long did he stay there for? You understand what I'm saying? How long all that time you stayed there before you came back, and then she was still breathing? So maybe if you would have freaked out and took her to the hospital at that time, she would have had some chance of survival. But if you left her in that condition for that long period of time and then came back for you, maybe that's why she died.
Yeah, so Amy, thank you. And I like that analysis. And here's the thing. One of the things that was going to make me very perplexed about this whole situation would be that if Sam Jackson was said that he knew that when he woke up that morning his wife wasn't well, and then he still left her there, you know what I mean? And then again, one of the things also that is very how do you call it, confusing is that I listened to the 911 call that Sam Jackson made in the US, in Madonna, right? In New York. When in a 911 call, you can see that, or you can feel that this lady was unconscious, right? On the floor with blood, right? And then he called 911. But when she came through, she was very belligerent. She didn't know what was happening. You get me? And he kept telling him, sweetheart, baby, that's your blood. You know what I mean? We need to go to the hospital. And I think she didn't want to go to the hospital. He said, no, we got to go to the hospital. He kept telling him, we got to go to the hospital. We got to go to the hospital, right? And here is the thing again. Then you look at the pattern. When he came home that day, as soon as he saw the blood, he decided he was calling ambulance for them to go to the hospital. He couldn't get ambulance. He put it in his car and took it to the hospital. Anybody who intended or by mistake hit somebody, you get me? They will still take the person to the hospital because it was a mistake, right? But again, for you to look at it, it's tricky because did he know that she was in that condition and left her and went to spend almost an hour on OK FM before coming back, driving all the way back to that traffic to where he lives, and then before taking her to hospital? I'm confused, but that's why. And one of the commenters said, I think it was Lane Laporte or somebody else, said that the evidence will be abuse in court.
Yeah.
They will not say everything now, like you say as well. They will not say everything now. They will tell us in court because I want to know if Sam Jackson is guilty. Let him burn in hell. Let him go to prison. I don't care. I mean, anybody who takes anyone's life, even by mistake or by intent, they must be punished.
If he
Because
did, I
the
think
only
it was
precious thing, yeah, the only precious thing we have, the determinant that our lives can be improved is the longevity of our lives. If I had died at the age of 15, I wouldn't have seen this time that I'm seeing. I'm enjoying myself. I feel happy. The best part of my life. I'm excited about tomorrow. I won't have that opportunity. So no one has the right to take away anyone's life. You are not God. You did not make anyone. You cannot take anybody's life. If you do it, you should be punished. That's why I feel strongly about Musu. I think she shouldn't be enjoying. She should be in prison by now because she knows exactly who killed that girl in her house, and she should be ashamed of herself, whatever she is. And her life will be miserable as it goes on. If she knew something about that baby's death,
any one of them who knew anything about it,
I'm not asking you to repeat after me. I'm just trying to say my own. Yeah.
Anybody for that matter.
I know where you're going.
Wherever it's coming from, whoever that did it to her.
If Sam knows anything, what about intent or by mistake, he should be punished and he should bring in hell.
Amen.
And as soon as I feel about that, that's the same way I see about Musu.
Yeah.
That position girl, it should be a hot seat for her. She should be at night, she should not sleep. That girl should be chasing in your dream. You should wake up with hypertension.
I think it's kind of personal there.
No, it's not. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. But that's the thing. I mean, I'm passionate about this thing, you know. I hate for people to take advantage of other people.
It sounds a little bit personal. But listen, and you're right. I think anybody who takes another person's life and they feel that they got away with it.
George Underwood, come on. The link is in the chat and they
got away with it. I think they should be hunted by that person's, you know.
I agree.
We are African people who believe in ghosts. that you hunt them, that you dream about it, that you whip them. Why is it? In a sleep, in a bathroom, wherever they go, right?
Yeah. So my uncle is going to be confirmed as the new election commissioner.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. He's even now he's acting. They turned over to him. I think yesterday or day ago. Yeah, because he's been nominated, he'll be acting until he's confirmed. So my uncle is going to be there. So I feel that it's an exciting time for our country.
I did not mean related to you. You and that man, you guys are related.
I mean, I look at me. Him so man. That man shocked. I thought of that man. Why got taller than the man? Why got taller than the man?
Yeah.
Also, you know the shot.
Yeah, Uncle just show that.
So yeah, the guy.
Anybody that they mentioned.
I see.
Yeah, my God, little people. Let me stop there.
So the thing is that the new election commission, we look forward to what it will bring for Liberia, but I think for stability and for Amy, one of the things is I know that money does not love noise. Anywhere noise is, money can go there. That's why in the bank they don't play music.
Get out of here.
That's why they don't play music in the bank. So when a president who is over the economy, who is guarding the economy, who want people to enjoy, because when they enjoy that time, they stay in power. For him to deliberately bring noise, to look at and say, when I play my own song, the people they will cry. And there'll be noise. And when noise there, money will not come, investor will not come because they feel that instability exists. So what do I do? I mean, appoint somebody who is very less, even though I will speak to the person will be on my side, but nobody will know them and can give any account that they are my supporter. Let me find somebody like that. Someone who is less, likely to have that particular characteristics, right? But then you look there for long and say, oh, the guy who was campaigning for me, who was reporting my data in my data center.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You keep talking about somebody being impartial, somebody being in the middle, somebody being liberal and not conservative, and all the one.
Mhm.
Do you know that this man is not in the middle? That this man is not some kind of moderate politician, or not politician, or somebody who, because he supports, or because you saw him counting the data, that makes him a what? Hardcore, strong-headed, no brain. United Party? I mean, how do you conclude that about somebody? Because here, I will always talk about here because that's what I know much about. Here we have Republicans, we have Democrats, right? You have some of the Republicans who are moderate. You have some of the Democrats who are moderate, and you have some of them who are just hardcore Democratic ideology and whatever bend or go whatever. And you got some people who are just hardcore Republican. They are just straight
Let me
up
just put out.
conservative. There's
Let me
nowhere in the middle.
Let me just put it.
Okay, so
Nobody, there's nothing hardcore than somebody who can be counting your vote. Anybody who can be counting your vote. It's not. Eh?
You can count a vote. What does that mean? It
Amy,
doesn't mean
you are
that
not.
when it comes to doing the right thing, you bend on it.
Amy. Oh God.
Okay, you said you kept saying that man was in the war room, right? That's
Yeah.
your whole picture. You keep painting that man like he's some kind of you know, because you are in war room. You keep painting that picture. What is wrong with somebody doing a data, counting something? What does that have to do with them being not being or being far left or far right and not in the middle? Where did you come from? Crucifying them in or drawing a conclusion on him? I mean, what do you see from there? Just because he counting votes, what is it? You said when you are going to be counting CDC votes, then you're going to say, "Oh, he's in the middle." Is that what you're talking about? I don't get it. Like he's
Okay, Amy. Sorry for cutting you off. I'm just listening to him now. Yeah, let me just quote it verbatim. Unity Party will win more than 70% of the vote on the man that is making the election commission. And he's saying Unity Party will win more than 70% of the vote. Let me listen to it. Let me give you Johnson, the district of Virginia. We swept the district of Virginia or Oklahoma. The only contest is in Foya, the flag bearer home. 2,000 difference here. Yeah. In Bon County, he going ahead. So, I mean, if somebody say United Party, we won more than 70% of the vote in northern Liberia, right? In Lofa, right? Then you say he's moderate, or he's a moderate, you pitch. I mean, I don't know what I should disagree with you, or I should say you are being dishonest to the conversation. I don't know what I should say that, but I think
you can't say that because you don't have that evidence. But
you
go
are
ahead.
dishonest. Yeah, let me use that word. You are dishonest. You are dishonest. Very dishonest.
You're looking for a word to throw out there. Go ahead. I would take it. You're looking for a word to throw out there, but that's not a real one. But go ahead. Let me finish.
Yeah, so, Amy, there's a man that at this conference giving you. He and Kogoya saying together, he said United Party we won more than 70% of the vote in Bonjima, in this place, in their place. The only contestation now is you want me to send the video right in the chat room.
What year was it? What year?
2023.
Oh, that was 2023? So what do you mean Kogoya? Who's Kogoya?
No, I mean Kogoya is standing by him and then making the announcement. Because Kogoya too is a UPS.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but go ahead.
No, I get it in the chat room if you want me to. Let me just place it back there. So, yeah. Let me see. Okay, I just placed it there again in the chat room. If you want to listen to listen. So there's a man who saying United Party we won more than 70% of the vote, and then you come to me and say, "Oh, he's moderate." I'll just say to Amy spare me that conversation. Yeah, and maybe I need to eat rest bread a long time, eat it before.
So what would you have rather said that would convince you that he was moderate?
No, if you want to tell me anything, say, look, once he has been appointed, he will have to relinquish all of his membership of the United Party, which the law, calls for, and he will go to serve the Liberian people, just like the president. When the president is running for office, he runs for office on a Unity Party ticket, but when he wins, he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. Everyone within the Woody Big, whatever word I'm going to use that, yeah, the Billy will. So the thing is that that's what can convince me, and I'll say, look, you know what? If we look at it on a broad press spectrum, you will never find anybody who does not sympathize with somebody. You know what I mean? But then we know that everybody will get people will sympathize with people, but we don't want a hardcore. Because when we put a hardcore there, I mean, the whole process will be derailed because everything he will do will be in the interest of the place he hardcore on. Even he can go and resign from United Party, but you still hardcore United Party thing. Because the person
Okay.
know that because the United Party person won, that's why you're being nominated as this election commissioner. So
You're not
it's
being fair
difficult
to
to
this man.
defend. Eh?
You're not being fair to this man. You're not being fair to
My
the
own uncle that he unfair to.
yeah, because he's not
Ah.
saying wham. But listen, you saying that this man was counting votes, you know the party we won.
God.
You can
Yeah.
be a unity partisan and still be in the middle. Didn't you hear the example I just gave you here? We have Democrats who are in the middle. Does that mean they don't want Democrats to win the election? That's not what it means. They want their party to win the election.
Describe what you call in the
Does
middle.
that mean
Describe what you mean in the middle. When you say in the
hardcore?
middle, what does that mean to you?
Okay, when meet in the middle is that you can work across the aisle. You can do the right thing for the country. If the other side is bringing something that makes sense, your ideology that is so liberal that if it's hurting the country and the other side is saying something that you feel like something they're saying, whatever they're saying, even though they're not from your party, it is good. You can come together and agree. You can tip piece of your and tip piece of your. That's what they call in the middle. It's not everything that, oh no, it has to be the Democrat ideology. Oh no, it has to be it must be the Republican way of doing things. No, that's what they call far right and far left, right? But you can work across the aisle. You can always agree with the other person. That doesn't mean you're not a Democrat, or that doesn't mean you're not a Republican. So what you're saying here that because you saw the man doing it, you know the party we want to have for so and so like this, so that means he's not moderate. That means he's a hardcore. You're not being fair. You are not being fair at all.
Have you listened to this man?
That he's it doesn't matter. He's like, okay, I don't know him. I don't know what party he represents, but from what you're saying, he's a UP, right?
Yeah.
That does not mean that he's not an honest person or he's not there to do the right thing.
Okay.
You can be a UPS, you can be they got some of your sedition that are for doing the right thing and speak the truth. Your city are not real sedition. For your the mega sedition, you're calling they're not sedition, they're not real sedition. That's what you do. It doesn't mean you don't come from that party, George. Like you said, there's no one in our country right now that would say that they don't have anything to do with any party or don't sympathize with anybody.
Yeah, but
Would you rather be the election commission?
Ah, beg you, yeah. you tell the boss and I get to your horse. But you are trying to market. I'll be there. I'll be marketing it.
Okay.
You're going play the football. I'll be marketing it. I gave it to you, put it in the box.
You be right now. So there's no way anybody will come, even if they're not saying it or whatever. So there's no way. So would you rather him put a sedition there? I don't mind. He can do that, but it has to be somebody who not everything that George Weah did, even though it's wrong. Oh yeah, everything is right. No, that's what they call hardcore into the fire. You can see no wrong in anything. Okay, he could have hired. Let me see. Who can I something from your CDC side that you don't like right now? Because being honest.
Your vice president already took him out. So
Who you don't like right now? Let me see. Kano Barbara. He's a citizen, right?
he says he is, but we don't come here anymore.
You see what I mean? You see what I was just talking? When a
But
person
after
not speaking, you're judging.
after
You will always say,
insulting Buakai, then he go on Buakai side. After causing all the Buakai policies and calling Buakai or Tabalis and calling Buakai all the bad names, and then he turn around and go and lick it and go
it
lick
was
Buakai seat.
wartime. It was
Then
wartime.
that's not being moderate. That is just being a sucker for
Nah,
survival. Yeah,
that's
sucker
what it is.
survival. I'm a
That's
man, but I'm
all.
telling you, sucker for survival. That's what I think.
You think all of the things that people were saying, everything during campaign time, everything has some truth in it. Some were true, but some were just over exaggerated. It's campaign time. People are just doing stuff like that. It doesn't mean after campaign. Look at your ATM machine.
Go ATM machine again.
Oh, now you don't know him anymore. Your ATM machine.
That one said people are protecting their properties, Amy.
You see?
Someone fella knows that you always follow the person that wins. Someone
You
fella
see
always follow the
the
person
chaos
that wins
he
because you got
causing.
too much to lose.
You see the chaos that you causing for you. So they were where is it? So it doesn't like it was election time. Everybody's trying to secure their votes. So they'll say all of these things. But to be honest, it doesn't mean this man you have to see what he does. You have to give your uncle the benefit of the doubt and see how he handles. I don't know do you have any by-election coming out?
No, there's no by-election.
Yeah.
Unless one of them pass away.
Yeah, there's a by-election coming out. You get Kuluba seat. So
No, we're not going out. They're not going out. They're not going out. They can't.
By-election. So you gotta see how he handles the election, and you have to give him a better. You can just say,
Amy, I agree with you.
No.
But one thing I want you to know is that elections are won way before election day.
Oh, that's a slogan. Give me that break.
It's not a slogan, but I will break it down so that you can know that it is not just a slogan. It actually does happen. So, for instance, a Buakai does not do anything for the country. People cry there on election day.
Yes, something.
He's not giving rest. You think the opposition already won long time before that election day? You know what I mean? So it's not just a slogan. So election commission to have the power to make you to be unpopular, right, with the people. And in so doing, he can appoint people who will always be hardcore the other people. You know what I mean? Like for instance, they were talking about how they call this guy who is at the civil service agency. How they call his name? I forget his name. Dr. Crazy.
Josiah Joker.
Josiah Joker. That guy is a joker. So the thing is that
what is it?
Josiah Joker.
He's I think Jokai, right?
Jokai, yeah. You think why you think they couldn't have moved him there? Because he's hardcore, Amy. He's hardcore.
Yeah, well, that dude. That dude, when you hear him talk, right? Yeah. The way that do something, I knew that when it was putting his name out there, I said, nah. I'm not saying he was not going to do the right thing, but he's a hardcore Upist. You can.
And I agree. And that's why we are saying you realize he was hardcore, and we say this guy is hardcore. Why can't he do us?
I don't see it in this guy.
I agree
because
he was
hardcore, and I also
support what Braga has done.
And I also thought that the lady name wasn't going to be a good fit because people already have that mindset that because she was minded or wrongfully, according to her, treated by the citizens or the CDC party, so they would have some kind of something that she would not be fair with the election. So all of those things were distraction, and I'm glad he didn't do that. He did not pick any of them. They already got a job, so put someone else there. So I thought he did a good pick, and you should give this guy the benefit of the doubt to do his job. And it's fair, like I said the other night, it's fair, and it will always be that way. the opposition had some fear about Madeline Daviada, Senator Brown too. So I guess it's a Liberia thing. Nobody ever's gonna be good enough. Even if you bring Emmy right now,
Amy, how you would be right for that position?
huh?
You will never be right for that position, Amy.
Right for opposition.
You're hardcore. Nothing black guy does is bad.
I'm a black guy supporter. I'm not a unity.
Exactly.
I don't support
Exactly.
it.
I know for some reason, maybe
If
when
you
the
were
police
saying
have to play,
something with, I'll tell the party that I sympathize with the most. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep my peace to the next election. I like
So
a
you
party
see,
in Liberia. I do.
the thing is that Amy,
I like a
one of the
party,
things,
but it's not a united party. Y'all got it all. I just support it.
yeah, one of the ways that
He
elections
had the number to remove George Weah.
yeah, what the reason why I say elections can be influenced by election commission in so many ways is about two policies. Like for instance, Amy, I know that in Maryland, the opposition has a strong base there. Then instead of sending ballot buses on time, we send the ballot buses late. People get tired, they go back home. And you get me? And then election they come, then few people vote in a place there. Election commission get the power to establish to do those type of things. You know what I mean? Because they were responsible for the dispensation. You know what I mean? To dispense all those things, all the logistics to keep happening. Yeah.
From what I've seen in 2020 election, which is the only election I've witnessed in Liberia,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Liberian people are so, even though most of them make the wrong decisions, but they are so, when they have that conviction that this is what they're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can stop them. It was a lot of that during 2022 election. But these people were standing and fighting for their own ballot boxes. Like I see now, like, wow, like you're not taking our box anywhere. You're not doing this 1 year. No, what you giving? And there was actually, and then when somebody said, "Oh, we're calling the international committee," remember that I don't know if you remember that election was in the Dillon. It was there what district was that? I don't know if it was somewhere in Newtown or I don't know where, but somebody was trying to do something crazy there, right? In the dark. And then somebody went outside there. They're calling on the international community. You know, see the community people that come in with that box on their own. I was like, international community that come here. And then they came out, actually, in the police and said, and then they all go, y'all try it, y'all don't know what tear gas will come from.
Yes, you get your gas.
I know, like pepper water. She said, "How about tear gas? Pepper water." I don't know what tear gas. It was so funny that night. I laughed so hard. I said, "This was so funny." That shows me that when they are tired with something, when they said, "This is what we're gonna do," they will do it. They protected their votes. That's why you need a good what is the name? Good observer. What I call a poll watcher.
Yeah.
You need a good poll watcher. You sitting there because I saw them. This is what they do, right? When they pick it up, they show the name and stuff, and if they invite it, show what. So there's no way if you have all of those things in place, I know it's making. And the moment they put that number on it, people taking a picture of it, it's going to the whatever. So you just need a good poll watcher. Nobody. The only thing that they can do, like what they were doing, is what you there in the southeast there, intimidating people, chasing them, and telling nobody come here. Joe,
yeah, in Lofa, you talking about Lofa?
I think
in Lofa, the fighting was nothing happened in the southeast.
Yeah, I know you can be in denial of the.
No, Amy was in Lofa again, but when the EMF went there, they started beating people.
In the southeast, they were chased.
And they even killed people and all in Lofa.
Oh, the one I told me for that way, he started suddenly and the police started fighting. That was not on election day. That was campaign time. They were doing that.
Yeah, but nothing happened during election day.
Driving people up from Grand G that Joe, we had to that day and Grand Crew they want to go for 1,000 person voted when it's only 500 person registered to vote. But yeah, all of those things. If you have, you're not intimidating anybody. Everybody have, because that's the only place you can say something. If security apparatus, if they are intimidating people, then that's where things are wrong. You're not supposed to, because if you don't have observers, that people can do anything they want to do there, right? But
It's
if
true.
the
It's
election
true.
is
It's
not,
true.
if nobody
And,
doing
and,
that,
and I mean
you
and that's what the problem is, because the logistics, the money involved to get observer in every corner, you know what I mean? It's just one of the things that you can't blame anybody about it. You can't blame the election commission, you can't blame the government or anything. Like for us, we felt so comfortable that we're going to win the election because of what we have done for the country. I mean, and one more thing, that's why we did not even have most observers in places. But here's the thing, here's the thing. Something one of the journalists said, and I continue to think about it. He said, so these people in the 80s, before the war, they lawmakers there, what they used to do, what the government used to do, Amy.
right? Well, I thought it just
What was the development? What was the development they were carrying on?
I guess they all used to be like, "Jaga go back, go stay on that palava hut."
Yeah, they're going to eat free money, Amy.
And go talk.
Free money. Couldn't never have no role, but free money was just eating all the years.
That boy get on my nerves. He go Sunday, he go say on his zero. Thing go palava hut.
Yeah.
What kind of irresponsible person? That's why whenever to what he said, to advocate for my people, what on your zine round or inchimer? Like where do you I think you're missing the venue, dude. You're not getting the venue right.
The man knows that when you saw that 2 months, they will take you from there. Just like they told Fernandez Kova from there, because Fernandez Kova wanted to audit wanted for them to audit the entire legislature. Forensic audit, not just Christian audit. He wanted to audit the whole place, but they took him from there because they knew that it was zero for them.
How you believe that in Fernandez Kova was the deputy speaker? And what's his name was the speaker? It was a whole Siliki gang against the paradise. They talking about somebody was stopping from auditing. He ain't got the balls to audit that place. Don't let him to you to come blow air in your face.
He wrote against the general auditing commission. He wrote against the auditing commission. The general auditing commission, he wrote them for them to come and do audit. That's when the whole thing blew out of proportion. They started removing him because they knew that it was going to be difficult for them, especially the father then. Because that father, let me tell you, the money eating place in that place there. The speaker, the deputy speaker, and the Ways and Means Committee chairman. The money eating place there. Especially the Ways and Means, because they get the finance minister in that place. The Ways and Means. Yes. The Ways and Means, and then get the finance minister. All the money comes to them. They can appropriate the money in our house and follow in a position for long. So all of them were afraid of audit. That's why you see, Father is a born citizen. You always be a born citizen. But because he felt that this guy was moving too fast, and because Father wanted that position, he even went to George Weah for George Weah to advocate for him to get that position. And George Weah said, "Let Fonati take it." But then he got pissed off because he had been Ways and Means for long. He thought that progression, that anybody, I would be upset as well. That progression to be after Ways and Means are becoming deputy, and he became deputy. He went to become the proper, right? So
okay, why would he go over the one who was deputy? Because he was a wisdom man. Where he got now is where he's supposed to be, because if what's his name
he's serving Ways for many years, and he felt that the progression will either to become the speaker. So he went to George Weah to talk to George Weah about it. George Weah said, "You know what, Fonanti already spoken to me about it. Let's give it to Fonanti. Next time we'll give it to you." He accepted, Amy. Let me tell you now, he accepted. And he became deputy to Fonanti. They won. Yeah. So when they won, then Fonanti now started saying that they want to audit. And he knows that when they audit, they're auditing, meaning is the Ways and Means, you gotta find out. And then they will audit. So he said, "Oh, but then they want it's not okay for me."
Yeah, they own a narrative. That's not what we heard.
Yeah, but the what they haven't audited.
We all know what we heard.
But look, it is just one of the things that we need to really look at carefully, because our country demands better from us, because the only way that country can be developed is when we develop our minds and our policies and make sure that when people do wrong, those people to be put into the places, right? There are places where they're supposed to be. Let Musu Scott going to prison for good,
You're
and
talking
whoever.
from the two sides of your mouth right now, George. Because first of
Uh-oh,
all,
there
when
we
they talk
go.
about people getting indicted and they being prosecuted or going for, they want to prosecute them, y'all turn it to be witch hunt. They line instead of y'all saying, okay, let's see what these people have. Let's see what's going on. Let it do the investigation. And just call for free and fair and transparent. Y'all don't do it. Y'all call it witch hunt. So what are you coming from talking about when somebody do something wrong? They want that you just come in here, flee file. Don't give us that. Don't do that, because if you really mean what you're saying and not just saying it, you will be a pro investigation. No.
Okay, Amy, just a quick one.
So,
Samuel Tuet. Let's go to Samuel Tuet case, right? Samuel Tuet case, and I know people will say I'm biased.
but of course, that's what I'm talking.
And
That's
and
the
and
thing
and
I'm talking
and,
about.
and
Look at Mr. Derek.
firstly,
You gotta
firstly,
leave. Gotta do our closing.
firstly, yeah, we're coming to go. Let David Brave boy here. We're going to look
Mr.
at
Derek, why
you.
you ain't showing? Now you about it. We're about to
I mean,
leave.
I can see my face on your head, my man. So, Amy, the thing is that the reason people will say I'm biased because I belong to the CDC and Samatua belongs to the CDC. But here's one thing I will say I'll be plain about. I think the government has gone about this case the wrong way. And I think if Samatua had done something wrong, they could catch him. But the reason why they are missing the whole thing is that
Oh
by
no.
going for him first. Let's say, for instance, let me give a scenario, Amy, and I want you guys to critique this scenario to see whether I make sense or I don't or whatever. So let's say, Amy, you can go ahead to your maid to give your children meal in the morning for the lunch, right? So the maid comes to you and say, Amy, the children are about to go to school. Then you say, okay, give my B son, give me $20, give the other one $10, give the other one $15, right? According to the whatever you know that consumption rate and everything. So then that person goes and then give them the money.
Mhm.
You give them the money, and then they come and then they say the money was not used for the internal purpose. I mean, the children did not use the money for lunch, right? Then you say they should hold you responsible. Then it says you hold you responsible because the children did not use the money for lunch. Then you say, oh no, but my right here or my responsibility is to give the money to them because I know that they're supposed to eat lunch. Every one of them is supposed to eat lunch. So that's why I gave the go ahead for them to give the money to them so they can go and eat lunch. So if they did not eat lunch, who you owe? And then you owe. What you tell me? Because I'm there with them. I don't go there to them. I go there to the school. I yesterday that at home. All my right is so my husband gave me the money, the budget, and I take the budget and say this money for lunch and this for lunch. So if you don't use the money for lunch when you go and go look for body on campus with the money, that's not my business. If you can want me. But if at all, you go to the children first. That's how I expect the government to do. Go to the children and say, what are you using the money for? Then say, oh, the the husband gave us, our master will give it back to her when we went to say goodbye to her. So we give it to her so that why we not use it for our research we're hungry.
You're throwing me off right now.
No, no, I mean, yeah, okay, no, but guess what? I try to tell you how I wanted the government to carry the case here. Who are the people who stand for the money first, who use the money, right? We hold them, they will call who they gave the money to because since they're not asking for money. So now, if I'm doing an investigation, Amy, I'm not going to AB first. I will go to the children that took the money to school, that they get the money to spend it on campus. When I go there and say, well, I see that you did not eat lunch today. So what did you guys use the money for? They will say, oh no, my friend borrowed my money and said tomorrow you bring it back. Other people will say, oh no, when I went to see my mom said I'm gonna give her back the money. So I give her back the money. I want to bring loan. Then now there's a trade to say Amy is involved. Amy is the finance minister. She's involved. That means there's a conspiracy to steal the money here. Amy gave it to the children, then the children brought it back beyond when they came to say goodbye to us. She took the money from them and she spent it by herself. You see? Then they can catch you. But they cannot go and go to the children. The children say we spend the money on lunch. Then they say, no, you're not spending on lunch. They say, no, we're spending on lunch. They say, you're not spending on lunch. Amy, that you part of the stealing. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
How do you do that?
I think you're getting it wrong, George, because
All
this
right,
is what
explain to
happened.
me. Yeah, go
The
ahead.
same thing was the same summit was in wrongfully, politically took what the money, Bernie Samakas seat,
Mhm.
and started to make it look like they were fighting for corruption or whatever that was. They set a precedent, right?
Mhm.
That's why they say turn trap not for right alone. So they said that the way that Bernie Samakas did not eat that money, he did not take it to do anything with it, right? But they said he's not supposed to take it in the way in which he took it.
Mhm.
It was wrong, right?
Mhm.
That's the same thing they're going after Simon Toy. The way in which he took that money, he's not supposed to. It wasn't
That's
in
not
his
true.
purview to do that,
That's not
but he
true.
did.
Amy,
And then
okay,
when
Amy.
you did now,
Mhm.
what did you do with it? And he said, I give it to these people. And I said, well, you were not supposed to take it and give it to those people.
That's not true, Amy. They lied to you. So,
Oh,
Amy, let me
so
tell you something before you go ahead. Let me tell you something. The
so
finance
that's
minister,
why.
yeah, the finance minister's power is when people pay the money to LRA, it comes in the consolidated account. He will tell you, say, Amy, this year we shall give you $10 for you to spend for your whole ministry. Get a 10 out of here. Sign, write a letter to the central bank. Amy go and get our money from the central bank. She go spend it on ministry. That the minister work there.
Mhm.
So the disbursement of the money is done by the finance minister. That the finance work there, Amy. That the only working here to make sure that he spend the money according to how it was appropriated. So when they say this year, all the money we get for aviation, we're going to give it to Mr. Davis. And Mr. Davis, your appropriation, the money you sent to us, say you wanted to use for the whole year, that $2 million. Yeah, $2 million.
Okay, so
That
let me
senator,
ask you that
so that
because you
senator
didn't
read a check,
mention.
this and that senator read a letter
No,
and
I
give
was
it to
hoping
him.
coming off. So let me ask you
Okay.
this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you saying that now, Senator
Mhm.
going taking the road funds and say he's using it for salary, is that in his purview to do? Is that part of his function to do road fund that's supposed to be there to maintain the roads and stuff that what the what fuel tanker or whatever gas people then put it in it? Was it part of Senator function to go and take those road funds?
You want me to answer
Is
that
that
question?
what? Is that what? Is that anything in the Constitution or anything in the law that say he has the right to do that because he's a finance minister?
Okay, let me answer that question. Okay. The role of the government is
Yes or no?
no, Amy,
I
I will not say a yes or no. I don't want to answer a yes or no question. But the
I
thing
don't.
is that
It doesn't matter if you like to or not, but that's what
yeah,
it is.
the thing is
Because
that
according to you,
in government, like even the American government, right? The American government owes China trillions of dollars.
we're not talking about taking money from Guinea. We
Yeah,
say in
no,
the
no,
country. The
in
same
a
way
country.
how Brandon Samuka, there was this money for the heirs of retirement, whatever, right? He was the
Mhm.
defense minister. Was he supposed to take that money in the law?
Never, never, never. But this
Exactly.
one
So
senator
was
can do it.
Samuka supposed to take their roll for money?
Yes, yes.
Where what the law
Let me
that
tell you
this
now
guy
why.
was
Let me tell you
supposed to
now.
take it?
There's no law can say that you cannot borrow money that you pay back, right? So Temetua can even go to the central bank, right? Where the central bank say, look, our collection this month does not reach our salary budget. So you borrow our money, as the money comes in, you will take your money from there. Temetua can do that. That's what they
Okay.
call the
So
borrowing
Brandon
history. So
Samuka
he
also
can even go to
said
listen. Let me finish now. He can go to the road fund and say road fund. When we pay salary, our government will fall down. The government will break down because if you can pay salary, that means you're not government. So we want to borrow your money, we pay it back. He get the right to do it. But the reason
okay.
why the man could not do it, listen, I mean, the reason why Daniel Samaka could not do that is because that money was not for government. That money was private money. Like how they call it?
That was your private money. We were talking about military people.
No, the military, no, that private money. Once they pay you your salary, that money becomes your private money. They're not government money anymore. Once they pay to you, so they pay them. Then when they pay them, only they pay that where they deduct that money from to keep it for them, so that when they retire, they can give it to them. So that money is their private money now, not for government anymore. So if you go and take private people money, you're wrong. You shouldn't do that. If you did that, put it back right away.
So
It's
who
wrong.
got
You
the
cannot
private
do it.
people money?
Eh?
Who has the private people money?
The private people money is deducted and placed in a particular account. at the bank.
And who has that? Who's taking care of that account?
That account is taken care of by the defense minister is a signatory to it. And how it calls it, I think 3 other persons, including the finance ministry, they got somebody who is signatory to the account.
Okay,
So,
so that means it's
but
still
it's not-
in
it's in a private bank. It's in a private bank. Not even at the it's not even at the National Bank of Liberia. Once it's in private bank, it's not government money. It is the people private money. So,
So
let's say somebody pay you, right? Somebody pay you money. If you're looking at that money, it's like somebody pay you money, give you your money. Say every month you make $2,000. We gave you $2,000.
Mr. Derek, Mr. Derek, but Lane Rock when he come in because
Yeah. So the money was private money. Road fund is the government money. The government can use it the way they feel fit. However, you're not going to use it for salary because
no,
listen,
don't lie to the people, George. Don't do that.
Amy, listen now. According to the law, the road fund is for road maintenance.
Only.
Yeah, only.
Okay,
But
so
the government can
people
still
that
borrow
wanna
it because it's the government's money.
Show
Road
me.
fund cannot be there. Road fund cannot be there. Road fund cannot be there, and then the government cannot pay salary. Even though they know that they can borrow that money and pay it back, it cannot happen. But even the private money, even government have no right over your private money. No way. Even here, we got something they call the superannuation, right? Once they pay me, they will deduct any percentage from there and pay to my super, right? That super is the way I get, I don't know, 401k or whatever you can call it. Yeah, we call it super. So once they pay, the government has my employer who paid that money said, got no power over it. It is my money, right? It goes in an account. When you take it from there, it's stealing. But if government, takes taxes from people, on every gallon they get, 20 cents or 10 cents, they put it together. It's still the government's money because the government can do it, can use it. But the law says it should be for road maintenance. But the government can borrow. The government can borrow the money and use it for another thing and place it back. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. That's all.
Okay, I want to believe you, but
yeah, you should. I mean,
unfortunately, I can't until I see some paperwork. But hello, Mr. Darius, we better go. Just say hello and bye because we better.
Yeah, exactly. We've been for a while now.
Just do your opening and closing.
Yeah, I just listening to my brother talking about.
I know that Joey are giving him one name again.
You want to defend Samuel Toy and other one there. In Liberia now, it only go by Samuel Toy. What he say? They should arrest him. They should persecute him. They should jail him. Not looking the 25.
You gotta investigate before you jail somebody, right? You can't just go.
No, from his statement, he considered already. Don't look at the 25 million mob or exercise job we have pronounced.
There we go.
No, we have pronounced the 25 million mob of exercise. So somebody tried to carry out 25 million mob of exercise. Where the 12 carry is
USD or the
USD, United States dollar.
Damn.
Where the 12 go? According to the investigation and according to the audit, somebody said he exchanged money with some money changer where they never existed in Liberia before. That's stealing. That's complete stealing. They get
no record, no trace, nothing.
No trace, nothing. No paperwork for it. So that's complete stealing. They should have arrested you for it. That's public money. You should have.
Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? What you said?
It's a public money. It's a government money. You took it, you give it to people that don't exist.
No, they're not having that. They do exist.
George, where it is that somebody they ain't provided the documentation.
Here's the thing what happened. Senator wrote a letter to the Central Bank of Liberia. Yeah, let me just put you on the way you were going. I'm going to say for long. Senator wrote a letter to the bank that they should give the security committee $6 million, right? So that letter went. The security committee has to go there to get the money from the bank. That's all. So he wrote it to get the money to a department of government. He not tell them to give it to me, or they give it to somebody unknown. He wrote, and if the Central Bank not give it to people who they know, who did not come as
So,
you
Mr.
know,
David was saying something
those
else,
people.
though. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
go
it's
ahead,
something
David. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that
let me get drink quickly.
when President Weah announced that they need to do mobile exercise and clean the $11 from the market, Samuel Twe took the money. He said he exchanged it with money exchanger that are, according to the Central Bank of Liberia, they don't even have registration. None of them have registration. Some of them, a lot of them never have registration. And if you are doing mobile exercise,
Because he didn't want any trace of it.
yeah, if you are doing mobile exercise, you got to use the federal banks where they pay government money to. So those federal banks going to clear the money from their customers.
Mhm.
That's the best way you could do it. But he said they did some money exchanger, and those money changer never exist. That part too, they reach to that part here already.
So he went to the live and birth of Liberia, the 15
Yeah.
counties.
So yeah, so you put it in your
And
car,
gave
it's
money changer to get it.
collecting. Yeah, it's collecting from money changer from the street.
Oh, please give me a break. That boy needs
Which
to
of
be
the money changer? Which of the government will deal with people that don't register with
Yeah.
government?
It doesn't
With
add up.
government money. No, you don't do it. It's against policy.
Mhm.
And he did that one. Somebody just said a lot of things that you cannot trace.
So he said he did. It doesn't mean he did it. That's what he said.
Yeah,
But
all
you
say he
can't-
did it. He
If
said
he
it.
didn't trace it, it doesn't exist. So it's
I'm not
just
going to challenge. I'm not going to challenge my brother Davis because it gets going to sound like a broken record because we have explained this thing for long. But you know, sometimes you can be in class and broken listen, and then when you go to the test, when they say they can go bring.
Well,
Why you got this thing? You the one that
But
had
you-
the money. Say this is why I deal with the money. Then say we don't see.
But guess what, man? Guess what? David, let me explain something to you today, right? And I hope
Yeah.
this time it will be the last time for me to explain this thing to you. So in Liberia, most people don't keep their money in the bank because they not trust the bank. Because even my pa, all the money where he work for, when they walk in, you left in the bank. So people still scared. Even up to this time, money, people don't get their money to the bank. They can keep it on their mattress, right? So that one thing. It's not like that
So that
person can work.
some 12 know those people there.
No, Amy, I call you Amy now. Say, no, you're not normal people. Guess what? And cemetery, they not carry money in the street. Anybody who takes a cemetery carry money in the street, they want to deceive you. And guess what? Because they want you to
he
believe.
said it himself.
He said it.
No.
And what the report said, it. They say we have some people there. We have some. They say they achieved 50,000 with John Smith. We don't see John Smith. John Smith is not registered to government. John Smith is not a money changer. We don't know him.
Okay.
There's no trace for it.
Yeah, let me see something. Let me say something. You are right when you say that there's no trace or it. Myself, I read the report. They said they couldn't find some of the people whose numbers were mentioned to say they exchanged the money with. That
one thing. How you call that one?
No, but guess what? There are two ways you can check to see whether
Did you?
fraud
No,
happened.
George, do you have a problem with that?
I get a little bit of problem with that, but let me tell you why my problem does not go too far as to say that fraud
You
happened.
escalate your problem.
Because, yeah, okay. So Amy, the reason why I don't have enough evidence to say fraud happened is that I know that cemetery did not go in the street, right? And the second thing is that I know that if cemetery gave a boy 5,000 to go change on the road, and they brought the equivalent of 5,000, they say who you are changing to? They say we change to Amy. They gave Amy no what? They call Amy. Amy Puna ring. When you say they see the money you get in,
Wow, George.
no, they brought the equivalent of the money. They brought the equivalent of the money.
Let me say something. The way you're so open-minded when it comes to this cemetery way of doing this thing here, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if somebody now in this government was gonna say it like that, the way you being like that, or they call it, you would never understand it that way.
No, Amy, I
You
understand
would
that way.
never
Yes,
understand
wow,
it that way.
understand it.
But
Yes,
because
wow,
it's
understand it.
cemetery now, you want us to put our thinking cap on. Yeah, you know what?
Let me
But
compliment.
now, I will catch you with anything here, George. I will get you. I always remind you. I will catch you with this thing. Now you you got your thinking cap.
Amy, I can just think outside the box. That's all.
Yeah, when it comes to CDC, you like to think outside the box. But when it comes to other people, You don't like to think outside the box, and that's being biased. That being a hypocrite. That's what that is. But go ahead, Mr. Derry. End up like
According to the
that. That be a
according
wrap
to,
up. Go, got
according to the Liberian
That would be fair.
Constitution, according to the Liberian Constitution, before such money be the servitor to embrace that money, the legislature should not approve it.
You talking about 25 million?
The legislature never even the 6 million. The legislature should not approve that 6 million.
Finance minister just said, so Josh, what is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
That would just go and just do it, and then she just gonna tell people say I did it, and they'll say, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. 25 million, that's more money.
Even now, when the money not lost, who takes it?
The money lost.
Back?
The money lost.
Hey, come on, man, stop that thing, man. Stop that thing.
The money not lost. They don't have no trust.
When money not lost, you will go to jail. When the money lost, you will go to
He
jail.
claimed he gave the money to this person. He gave that money to. There's no trace. There's no paperwork. There. What do you call that?
It doesn't make any sense if at all. I give you $10, and you go change the $10 and bring my equivalent back. Then because I call the person who you change it to, the person say the
wow, George, where you working right now in Australia? There, you can take the people money and give it to somebody. And they come out, you can get it and you tell the person, oh, it doesn't make any sense for me to call it maybe because you don't see it. Is that what you will tell them?
Amy, okay, let me give you a scenario now.
Is that what you will tell them where you sit there right now and work? The way you explaining, there was something to it, like to you. The analysis you giving right now. When you go give it to the Australian government, like you say you work with, that is that what you go give it? Want to go ask for paperwork? You say does it make any sense for you to go get paperwork?
Let's say
the person
why y'all let them out consciousness as smart?
Amy, how can you understand anything else? You're not understanding how the whole thing working. Here's the thing. Let's say the way I'm working. They give me money. Say George, go and buy bitumen. The thing where they can put on the road, the quota. They say I'm going to buy 4 bags. I go and buy the 4 bags. The money they give me $10. Maybe they give me $40, right? $10 for each bag. I bring 4 bags. I put it down in the garage. Then they say, who you buy from? Then I say, oh, I buy from Amy. Then they call Amy. Amy, they know what? Amy phone ring, but nobody answer. They call again, the phone number not exists. Okay. Then they say, I see the money. They're looking at the 4 bags of bitumen. I bring it. It's in right in front of them. Then they call Amy because Amy not answer her phone. So I mean, I see the money. It doesn't make any sense.
What you telling us is that the 25 million was intact.
Why is saying that?
That's a lie. So you mean the people that are asking what's wrong with the money? How he did the money? You gonna get a record? Those people are stupid. When they see the money saying I read it, then they'll still be asking for the paperwork.
That's why now you don't see people running behind Summit for that money because they only exchange 17,000. Amy, listen now. They only exchange $17,000 out of 25 million, 17 million, right? Only 17 million they exchange. The 17 million they exchange all the equivalent of Labrador dollar in a bank, CBL, that's the bank. The only problem is that they say the cost on the people who they say they got the money from because they listen to people when they go to you, they get $10,000 for you, they give the US, they give the 10,000, let it write a number. When
it doesn't make
any sense that the money will be asking the man for hard paperwork.
It doesn't make any sense for somebody to make us to lose $25 million. Then we ain't prosecute the person. They will say we'll go free because we like their business. What kind of sense it makes?
To go free?
No, but what you guys are saying now, you're saying the money.
No, you're not understanding it. They're not even reached to that investigation yet. No, they're not reached there yet. The government not reached there yet. They will take go there. They will go after him for that too.
Listen,
they read that investigation.
The Crow report, the government brought in American auditors. They audited the entire report, and the Crow report.
It was during who administration?
Also, the Americans too. When the Americans came, America to do.
That's what I say. It was during who administration they had those investigations.
But American people, America.
All right, it was doing, but the government was prosecuting for it.
What the American get to do what investigation?
So let me tell you.
No sense it make when you say somebody is going to lose $25 million, then we say we let you so go. For what? So
nobody said anybody said like them to go.
Look at 7 million in court. Then at 25 million, you're not being court. You're being court
because. But they're not reached to it. They will reach to A.
Listen, when they're going to be investigated, you're going to see on the list of the LCA.
No, they want start with that small one first before they go to the big one.
You have to believe in the lies here. And I want to point with Liberia because
No, the problem here, my man, let me finish closing. The problem here, when it comes to CDC, you can talk to plenty, you can respond to everything, which is not correct. So negative response, okay. And when you want to make a negative response to positive response, which is not right. The way the way you talking, Nana, you say you go buy the quota, you can put it to your hall. They know who you buy the quota from. My man, you go to jail.
If the
If you want paperwork, see the white man quota, they want paperwork, they want to see the item. They want to see the paperwork. How you buy it, who you buy it from.
Okay, I will get in the paper, then they see the quota.
No.
It's a dollar A. You go to jail for A.
This is how it works.
The people want paperwork. They want to know who you buy it from, who you not buy it from. They want to know what was the quality.
You lie. I worked in the place here for more than 10 years. I worked in the place more than 10 years.
Yeah, you can just use the government money, go buy something anywhere.
This is how it works, right? If you bring the product, they want to see the paperwork, but the receipt is what is important. Once that thing is there, you got it. They need to see the receipt. They need to see how much you spent. They need to see how much it costs and stuff like that. But nobody will see the receipt. They see everything you bought inside, and they say they won't see the person you by any means that the person you. That's not true. That's not true, George. That is not true. There will be no sense. There will make no sense for people to say that, oh, the money is intact. Somebody got the money, got the receipt, got the paperwork, got it, but we want to see the human being that he did it with.
Okay,
so what do you need the human being for? If the money is not there, that's when you, when the person giving you storage, that's when you want to see all of those things. Now, when the money and we see everything is intact,
okay,
just doesn't make any sense.
Amy, listen now. I read the report, and because I took my time to read over 150 pages of the report, I used that time of my life to read that report. Let me explain to you what happened. The first part of the report tells us, say,
can I finish doing my closing first? Then you can use it in your closing. No, you can use your closing. You can explain your own closing.
Okay, close, no problem.
Our closing, then you get jumping up and down inside it. In the Western country we live, the government gave you money to go buy something. If there's no trace of it, you can bring even the entire thing correct. When there's no paperwork for A, the people will not believe you. They'll be prosecuted for it. I don't care what you do. Maybe like Liberia, that thing can happen to. But when you're in the Western country, you go say, they say go buy a TV. They just see 20 TV land up because we say you must buy 20 TV. Who do you buy the TV from? Which company? Where's the paperwork for the TV? You can't show no proof, no paperwork for the TV. It means there's somebody stolen property here, or it means you do something somewhere. Because by right, anything government send you for it, you should get a legal and registered government agency, registered businesses that sold the thing to you. If there's no paperwork, like buy the TV $10 for piece, $10 for piece, but you can't explain your mother, you say I buy $10 for piece, that complete jail. You're going straight to jail, no matter what you do. You can build a 40 TV so one. We don't know how you get it. Whether the 40 TV is present, we don't know how you get it, you're going to jail in the white man country. That one is not true. You should have paperwork. The paperwork should show where you get the TV from. So in case of something tomorrow, they can go look for that person. But those things were not showing. Then we come to the $6 million. The $6 million, the people that sold, even sign that money, the justice minister sold sign. He didn't sign. The justice minister, he sold sign on our paperwork, on our security something. The justice minister didn't sign. The legislature never even approved it. Because any money like that, the legislature should approve it. When using money like that for the country, the legislature should approve it. The legislature didn't approve on the security money where you are using. It was not approved by the legislature. Like somebody said, they reached to that other one year. When they reach to it, somebody can't even escape that whole thing. Because he took the money, he says, oh, I will send it to FIA, we'll send it to them one. FIA not get no money, no paper trace. You go to FIA, the money is not there. So it means that they joined together, like all of them, they indicted all of them. They joined together like conspiracy. They will not, I don't care what you do, they can't escape any of those charges. Most of the charges, someone will hold them. Because I can say, Amy can say, he gave me money, then the money not get people trace. They ain't come to me, but the money not get people trace. But Amy said, give me money. And we saw this you are the central bank, you release the money to me. Yeah, I got it, I received the money. Then the controller as FIA said, no, we not take the money. The bossman said, motivate to central bank. Somebody else was going for A. So what happened? Then you continue to say you're giving the security. That one can work. Somebody talking, even escape that thing. No matter CDC, you can cry. You can say anything. You say the indictment will hold him, and you will go to jail for it.
Thank
You'll
you,
be
Dennis.
prosecuted.
Thank you. Amy, can I close?
Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
So the thing is that I took my time and read almost 150 pages of the Crow report. The Americans audit.
I didn't know you got that much time on your hand.
I know, right? But sometimes we get technology that can help us. I just put a report on, put my headphone on, click on it while doing something, reading the whole report to me. I don't gotta sit there and be reading myself. While doing other things, just reading the report to me, I could hear everything in my headphone. So I didn't have to read it word for word myself. So when I'm reading the report, the first side of the report is that the report has come to a conclusion that the 17 million that was used out of the 25 million was at the Central Bank of Liberia. That means the 17 million that they carry in the street, they brought the equivalent of the US dollar back to the bank. It was in a vault, and Crow report said they have seen the report. However, they wanted to make sure that because the right procedure to use to mop up is to go to bank. But because the Liberian government decided to use an unconventional method, which though it is not against the law, but it's not conventional. That means it's not a usual way of doing it. They wanted to make sure that where the people that actually got the US dollar of the 17 million, they wanted to see them. So Crow report took the report of the government and looked at it and started calling the numbers that were on the report of the Liberian government, who they gave the money to. So when they say Lagbashi, Solomon money changing booth, $10,000. The telephone contract detail 04 or 088-954. They pick up the phone and call. When the person answers, they say, "Is that Solomon?" I say, "Yes." I say, "These people come to you and change $10,000 from you on this day, You say, "Yes." Then they put check mark. So when they're doing it, some numbers they call and the people say, "No, nobody exchange money with us yet." They call other people, they say, other people number they not answer. So they concluded, they say that method was unconventional. So that's why they held that next time, if they are doing it, they should do it to the bank. Our government went to respond to that order and say, "Look, it is true. In America, you gotta do mobile exercise. Because in America, they can do mobile exercise all the time. When you're doing mobile, you go to banks because the people in America, all of them have money in the bank. They only get credit card, bank card in their hand.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
I'm
Let me correct you.
talking. I'm talking.
Not all of them.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah,
But
but you were talking about
most of them. What I'm
Uh-huh.
saying now,
Don't say all of them.
most of them. But in Liberia, most of us here, we don't keep our money in the bank. You can go and you can be on broad. You can go on agriculture Wall Street and see people with borrow money, even like that changing it. No, you can see it in Liberia. You can see borrow. So it's different. So policies can apply in some places and it cannot apply in some places. So here we just have to do it the unconventional way because there is no way the bank had the money because people can go to the bank. The bank said they didn't get Liberian dollar at that time. So the Liberian dollar was in the street. So what do? We go in the street to get the money from there. So that's what happened. So the people agreed on it. So the whole record reported that no money was lost in the $25 million. Out of the $25 million, only $17 million were used to mop up. And the equivalent of the $17 million was at the Liberian, Central Bank of Liberia. So that is clear. So to close on our topics today, and I hope that will educate all of us so that we can know today.
Yeah, that flat CDC education you're giving us doesn't work here.
Education. And I just want
Yeah,
just got a new flash that a guy and robbers attacked a guy's house tonight in Liberia and he was shot in the head.
Jesus.
And they are brought to the hospital, at JFK. So they are in JFK now. And robbers
Robert, they're using guns now?
Yeah, and his name is L. Hold on for a second. L. F. Enders. L. E. A. L. F. Enders. That's his name. So he was shot tonight in his head. And robbers went to his house. I don't know what happened. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
I hope they catch that.
yeah, it's a bad thing.
Maybe
And
maybe he know them.
Yeah,
Or
sometimes
maybe
you do it.
he put out resistance. There are two things. Either you know them or you put out resistance.
Somebody can just walk in your house today and you're not.
Even you recognize the people they want to kill you. They don't want you to release. You must tell them that.
definitely. You're right. You got a point. And but all in all, nobody should be going to people's house to arm rob. You know, it's a terrible thing.
I
Yeah,
hope they catch
it's
them.
ridiculous.
And this
Yeah,
is
so-
why sometimes, and this is no way of, promoting violence or anything. But that's why sometimes when these things are happening so much, the people get so angry that
They start
when they
doing more
catch
justice.
when they catch they just don't have any mercy but to,
Yeah. So let me just finish my thought. I think Sam Jackson, in my own view, Sam Jackson should be free if the government cannot prove the case against him. I think
that case haven't even started yet. You already not assume or conclude that
because I listen to the police. I listen to the police commissioner or the IG instead of general. What he said over there is that what they got against Sam Jackson.
He's not the prosecutor.
No, but
He's
he's
police IG.
he's the one that charged him. He charged him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you charge him, you can turn the charge over and the evidence will go over to the DA for them to go prosecute. So you charging, I mean, you telling us that man there's something bad, right? They're not the DA or not anybody.
I don't think he just saying that, but on his own.
No,
like he ain't doing all that. He working with a what I call it thing.
The justice ministry.
Yes.
He working on the justice ministry and like justice ministry carry on the prosecution.
Yeah, to bring that charges. I don't think that what he has he presented to him something. I don't think the police actually just said.
That is no argument. He working with the justice ministry. What I'm trying to say is that if what he said on his news conference is the evidence that they have against Sam Jackson, I think they need to call the shame shot and release Sam Jackson because that evidence cannot stand.
Okay, let's play this real quick. Because I don't know what you hearing here that making this thing that is against other people.
Yeah, the CDC way.
Hold on.
I know you try to denigrate me, my brother. Go ahead, enjoy yourself.
When they say the CDC way that denigrate me, and I
establish a body of evidence that cannot be ignored. Number one, we established that there was a pattern of prior violence. There's credible and corroborated evidence indicating that the victim was subjected to repeated physical violence over time, which is supported by witness account, photographic evidence, and documented communication, which are copyrighted timestamps as well. Controlled environment and the last contact. The defendant, Mr. Samuel P. Jackson, was the last known person with the victim in a secure residence and was also the first person who entered the secure room and discovered the victim unconscious in a pool of blood, where both entry and exit were restricted, effectively isolating the victim. 3, forensic and medical evidence. Medical and forensic findings now establish a clear and compelling trauma profile. There was contusion to the left forehead, the back of the head, the middle of the right chest wall. There's also laceration and hemorrhage at the back of the head, bruising on the upper limbs with pinpoint puncture marks suggestive of possible restraint or defensive injury. The trauma sequence. The injuries support a probable sequence of events. A blunt force impact to the chest caused a backward fall, resulting in head trauma, including contusion, laceration, and hemorrhage. This is not a random or isolated injury, as it is linked to a chain of previous traumatic occurrences. 5, we look at neglect and duty of care. Evidence further establishes that the victim had a known medical vulnerability, which occasionally resulted in seizures. Yet, the suspect continued to supply the stimulant. The victim was left alone in a locked environment without supervision. This constitutes a serious breach of duty of care with foreseeable risk to human life. 6, we look at the post-incident conduct. The investigation also identified failure to promptly inform law enforcement, and there were indicators that the scene was altered or tampered with before the police even had access to the scene.
So guys, tell I'm back again. Let's talk about Mike
My
Jabate.
own thing always goes
I see fewer
over.
people on the
I
internet
just
know.
go
Let
my-
me
trying
know
to
what
bully
you
Mike
like, what you
Jabate.
like,
That
you
he
know.
don't-
Established a body of evidence that cannot be ignored. Number one,
Nothing but that, man.
Oh
So
my
they
goodness.
you added a JJC. So the thing is that so let's like exactly even what I was saying. What he has just explained there cannot set a sense of scrutiny. It's just circumstantial, right? There's no
Judge, I beg you,
eyewitness.
man.
There's no eyewitness. So I mean, you think about what I may said down there, you go to convict somebody of
The
manslaughter.
man said the eyewitness, according to eyewitness, people that live in the house.
Yeah, Judge.
No.
The man said
Don't lie,
it.
don't lie, don't.
There are witnesses on account.
The man say, how they call it, documentary.
No, it's not the witness. You know, they told some people from the house to go to, they told some people to the police station, right?
Were you listening to that?
Let me
Or you were not
please play that thing
listening?
again. I beg
You
you.
are not
man. Please play that
listening?
thing again.
The
Please play that thing again,
eyewitness.
man. I want to get the eyewitness. I want to get the eyewitness account. Maybe like only one.
I think
Okay,
that
so
number
listen,
two, that number 2 or number 3.
You had guys, look at my praying tongue, Stephanie. What kind of thing you're doing so? My Lord is
Sorry,
getting
man.
crucified today.
Yeah, no, sorry.
He
Yeah,
was
just play that
betrayed
short
yesterday.
thing in how long? Yeah.
Jesus was betrayed yesterday. He getting crucified today. I'm supposed to go get
Yo.
mine.
That daily, if you didn't get it, you tell the pieces of silver.
So what he said was,
CDC, that man was CDC. That's
listen,
something to a brother.
Judas was delicious. But
Yeah.
listen, what you are concerned about, George, he talked about it. Did you listen?
No, you need to what
The
was that?
entry, it was exclusive.
No, he said in an exclusive environment. I mean the house.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
Seven just no.
Let me play again because you getting me upset.
The
I'm
man
just
listen to it the CDC way.
Yeah,
I
George
was
is
ready to
behaving like he listened to different video. Why would he listen to another
CDC
thing?
listening and CDC understanding are quite different to you.
Okay, go ahead, my brother. Enjoy yourself.
Let me see. I don't even know where I got it from, but let me go back there. Yeah, well, how you acting like one was listening to the thing here?
Look at number 1. Look at number 2. There were evidence. You remember they took the court. They took
the man never said eyewitness
all the people
account.
there to the court.
He didn't say eyewitness account.
Yeah,
of
eyewitness
violence.
account.
No way. He didn't say eyewitness account of violence. No. Play again.
Yes, sir.
I mean, as soon as they play that part, you must just remove it.
Why?
Look at me.
You're not playing everything.
No. We're not. Well, way far. George is in the day over there now.
I see what I used to do class. Ray abusing the class at Ray again. The thing I can hear, my man, David can hear understanding. You are going to say the president.
My man, your Ducey class don't have evidence. That's something to it. No evidence.
No evidence.
You go
You can't say a Ducey class. Where's the evidence?
The other whole year part to find the one video, send it be here and you.
Where I'm about to find it. I had to take it from there because JJ put it on my game. I don't know where she coming from in my video.
Let's talk about Prophet Key. I don't know where you get Prophet Key been from.
Yeah, somebody jousting with Prophet Keys now.
I don't know where he is that.
Your Prophet Key post. Prophet Key said, I'm going to announce now, breaking news. I got somebody just here with me. I'm trying to find place for you to sleep.
What he said?
Yeah, I saw the post. I said, hey, God, we down.
Prophet Key that beam to that jail. Prophet Key spending in that jail.
What kind of person is that? He got phone and something he can post. All right, yeah, listen. Listen, Kenneth George.
I will, so yeah, go ahead.
Number one, we established that there was a pattern of prior violence. There's credible and corroborated evidence indicating that the victim was subjected to repeated physical violence over time which is supported by witness account,
I mean, just wait for that now.
evidence,
But witness account.
and
Wait, let me
documented
listen to another thing.
communication, which are copyrighted timestamped as well. Control environment and the last contact. The defendant, Mr. Samuel P. Jackson,
Listen.
was the last known person with the victim in a secure residence, and was also the first person who entered the secure room and discovered the victim unconscious in a pool of blood, where both entry and exit were restricted, effectively isolating the victim. 3,
You hear that?
Yeah, Amy, I heard that. And I
Entry restricted.
Yeah, yeah, because it was locked. I mean,
Isolated.
a simple English. It was locked. Now, and I'll continue to say that the place was locked. The room was locked. Whether it was locked from outside or locked from inside, we want to know.
He
Because
just
that's all
said exclusive or something the victim. You didn't hear what he just said? That means when Samuel Jackson had access to what?
Yeah, but Amy, but the woman to have access to it, right?
Oh my God.
So, Amy,
I don't want that would get access to it.
Amy.
No. This don't like this.
No, the man, even at the man own room, you get people working with him. What happened? The people can't get access to enter the room.
Anybody can access your room.
Yes, why you working with me? You get access to my room.
Can we listen to the
Yes.
You can get your room door key to
entry and exit.
I can give it to people that work with me.
Effectively isolating the victim. 3, the forensic and medical evidence, where both entry and exit were restricted, effectively isolating the victim. 3, the forensic and medical
isolating the victim.
Isolating the victim was restricted. Isolating the victim. George. The victim the victim should also have access to those something, right? It isolated. It was restricted. What do you understand by the word restricted? Isolating the victim.
That's why the people in the house said the woman that working in the house are the cook. The cook said it. The cook said they can't go in the room. They restrict them.
I don't know what judge did that to you. Now just said now you're looking for that different thing. If you listen to what these people saying, you still saying there's something you're trying to twist the English you're speaking different way than a different thing you're looking for now.
Amy, now let me tell you. Now I'm sitting down in my living room, right? And I'm restricted by the door here. I'm restricted by another door here. It does not mean that somebody locked me out. But because I'm restricted, because there is a barrier. So I'm restricted from going outside because there is a closed door here and there's a closed door here. So
you're not restricted from going outside. That's not what they call restriction.
No, you're not restricted.
You're not restricted. That's not what they call restriction.
You're not restricted. You can get up from over there right now.
You can go outside. So that's not restriction.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I have to open the door so that
you're not restricted.
You're not restricted. If you want to, you're not restricted.
You're not restricted.
That's not what they call restricted.
The problem is, like in Liberia,
they don't have any means to do that.
Like in Liberia, you have security, you have house, you have house gate.
I'm restricted with the door open, the two doors open. Can I say I'm restricted?
You still not restricted when it closed.
You're not restricted. Like your own door, you can open it.
Get up and open that door if you want to. You are not restricted.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'm gonna argue with you guys because this thing will be.
The matter of fact, I mean, the lock we using Liberia, not the same lock we using America. America, you can just lock the door from inside. Somebody can say open it like that. But in Liberia, when the lock you with key, you don't get key to it. You can't get outside.
Exactly. And according to the cook or whoever that came,
the cook,
he sent him to go get something. He came back. Mr. Jackson was opening the door. He was using the key to open the door, his room door. So, like I said, unless that is the turning thing, and you told me said they don't have that.
It ain't Liberia, like the key. You don't get key to it. You can't get outside.
So when he's saying the victim was restricted, it doesn't mean you're already not close. Well, how am I close to you?
I'm feeling close here.
No, you're already not. I'm feeling close.
I'm just trying to say, look.
It's late now. It's almost 1 o'clock. We gotta go.
Right.
Okay. Emmanuel too. We go in, Emmanuel.
No, but you see our back there, you're arguing. You want to look at me all day.
I beg you. You haven't been back there all day.
No, not all day, but I've been there for over 15 minutes.
Close. I'm going to close you, girl.
Yeah, close. Let's go. We gotta go.
Yeah, hello.
Say the argument. Okay, go.
How you doing?
And then, I mean, congratulations. Even though you didn't invite me,
You
What?
got married?
I said, why? Don't you work and get
Oh,
an
no,
answer?
my man, when you reaching the town, we want to know the news. When the poor Garrison was yesterday, the time you down, they said, no, not the thing, they will tell you everything.
She
Don't
graduated.
go after them, say, what happened? They will
Graduated.
say,
She
"Go
completed
now,
her
what
commission.
commission?"
That's the old picture.
That
I
one,
ever sent it.
I just saw it, so that now congratulations.
Oh, okay. So it's new to you.
I mean, that graduation picture, you mean?
Oh, something picture I pull up on something. Not general graduation, no. That was not graduation there.
Oh, okay.
The idea that is new to me, so that new information.
Okay.
Yeah, now when
So
now
new
when you
graduation,
got a point.
new congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, let me put my cash out of my gift. Say it new to you. George,
Yeah,
new to you
that's
too,
small
right?
thing. Yeah, it old to me, by way. Oh, yeah, that's something.
No, now you rush
Well,
already. Oh,
It old, by way.
why? What did you get when it was new? You get your
You
gift.
know, when yesterday, they say, oh.
When it was new that you get your gift, you give it. So keep giving it. Go ahead, man. Close. Yeah, I don't know if
Man,
you
go
want
ahead, my
to tap
brother.
in sitting
I think you listen to all of our arguments, so you can just
the
say
argument
your
was
view
on
as well.
the one I heard at the Sam Jackson issue that I hearing.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the video that I just played?
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
so
that
George was saying the man don't have no what you call concrete evidence. It's just all
Prima facie.
circumstantial.
No, that said the what is happening that it says circumstantial
Yeah,
evidence.
circumstantial, yeah.
Or circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial, say me like
Yeah,
based
After
on the circumstance.
after the IG just lay out things that is
Yeah.
going to George trying to
That
tell us that we
circumstantial
don't understand
evidence
English.
is something that had to do with the circumstances, the way events
Yes.
are.
but
But
I want this,
the
yeah.
issue about it in
But that's not what he's
investigation,
giving.
in investigation, these are opinion until it we
Yeah.
are right where the evidence can actually validate what they say,
Good.
and it becomes the fact. Right now is the police IG's opinion based on his investigation.
Yeah.
It's possible that
The guy evidence, he never said that his opinion. He was
yeah,
just
but what I'm saying,
laying out the evidence.
Amy, if you must have made confusion and we go to Mr. David's house and you talk, Mr. David, if Mr. David is an investigator, you will wait for a year from me before you make conclusion. You not as soon as you think say, oh, you might be wrong. So when you investigating, you listen to one side, listen to the other side. That's right now it become an opinion until it is proven that what they say is true, then we can consider it. Right now it is the investigator's opinion. Let's hear what.
Okay, so before you finish, let me say something about that. If you and I are arguing, like you said, right? We'll go to Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis is not gonna just take my side because of what I said. Why are you sitting there? Anyway. Why are you sitting there and say, oh yeah, Emmanuel did it. Amy, you're wrong. No. Emmanuel explained. Amy explained well, Amy is not all in this case. Amy is not there to explain. Emmanuel explained, right? But everything that Emmanuel explaining, the evidence that why they're going to check, because Amy is not there to explain her side of the story. What they're looking for is things that will make them with everything they're seeing on Amy, God forbid, something there that what they're looking in the area that Emmanuel explaining this thing happened, that thing happened, that thing happened, right? Everything they're looking at, what if Emmanuel is explaining something that is far from what they're seeing, those are evidence that they're gathering, right? So say Emmanuel lying or Emmanuel is not lying. They will not just get up and say, oh no, I think what happened here is this, that. Then you can say opinion. But what he laying out, he didn't say, I think, or this is what we took, or this is what, no. He said we have evidence, and the evidence that we have is why they arrested this man. One, from this. Two, from that, he's laying it out. So it's not an opinion. He said evidence. You cannot arrest somebody on your opinion because of what you think happening. As even if you're police or your DEA or whatever, you got to come up with the evidence to arrest somebody. So you have to have an evidence to arrest somebody. You can't use your opinion to arrest somebody. No. So that's
okay. So Amy, is Sam Jackson guilty?
What do you mean, Sam Jackson guilty? The evidence will go to court to go.
Amen.
Is Sam Jackson guilty currently as we are? Is
Zaza,
he
you
guilty?
told to come long time. Zaza, I suffer
Sam
you.
Jackson right now,
They
he's
took what
not
billion with
guilty,
nonsense in the place.
but
there.
evidence shows,
What
according
is
to
the
the
evidence? That's
investigation,
accusation. It's not proven yet.
Exactly.
It's not that I'm backing Sam Jackson, but in investigation,
Yeah,
one
but
side
that's
of the
the
story
reason.
is accusation. When it is proven, even when they see you killing, God forbid, and they tell you to quote, they say she killed that particular word. It's still an allegation. It's still an opinion. Until it
Allegedly.
is proven that you actually did it. That's why they say
okay,
innocent until proven guilty.
okay, I get that part, right? Until somebody say the person guilty. But until that person, they say the person guilty, you're not just going to carry the person in front of the judge with your opinion. You have to have things that you bring in front of the person that make that person, those people to say, yes, from what we see here, you are guilty. From what this person is proving, you are guilty. The person can just carry, the police can just carry that opinion. Is what I'm trying to tell you. The police has to have a reason to arrest that person.
But when we saw that police director saying our social opinion,
Amy.
they're not
No,
evidence.
no opinion. The man said there's evidence. The man said evidence.
Amy,
Remember
Mr.
people
Davis.
living in the main house.
Amy, and Mr. Davis, none of you were there.
People there. People
You.
there account.
Well,
People
listen
there
now.
account.
The investigator, what he's saying. We're not saying we were there.
Okay,
People
that's
there
what-
account.
that's
People
what we
live in
have
the
to
house.
say. That's
I
why
don't
it is
want
an
Hussein to be
opinion yet
guilty
until
if
it
it
is
left with
proven.
me.
That is still an
pray
opinion.
that he's not guilty.
It's still an
But-
opinion.
No, it's not opinion. You can't call it
No,
opinion.
When I use opinion to arrest somebody, I
Zaza,
think
they
this
will
is
beat
what
you. They will
happened.
beat you again. They beat me all day. I tell you,
Amy,
so just
in
some of your
law,
own.
in law, until it is proven, it is an opinion.
No,
the
it's not
not
opinion.
opinion.
It can't be opinion.
It is
Oh,
an
God.
allegation.
They don't investigate
with-
you on opinion.
It's not opinion. You're not gonna go
That
arrest
that
somebody
why
on
you
your
people doing that like
opinion,
your opinion?
In
You're
the
not
opinion
gonna
of the
arrest
investigators,
anybody on your
No,
opinion.
in
that's
the
not
opinion of the
opinion.
investigators, this what
Why
happened.
you
It
why
has
you
to
just
be
saying that
proven.
like opinion?
It
Do
is
you
an
Like
know?
your opinion.
allegation.
Do you know why?
are-
Hold on. Do you know why the chief justices their decision is considered opinion? Because the Supreme Court don't take evidence. That's why it is considered an opinion. Because you don't see the evidence, the evidence is not given to you. They may saying it. You have not seen the evidence. They may say we have evidence that he have it. You don't have it. So it's still an opinion until it is proven in court that indeed the evidence are there.
They get witnesses on account.
It
That
doesn't
they man
matter.
continue fighting the
People
woman
can
in
still
the
get
house.
witnesses against you and still be vindicated. People can still
You're
get witnesses
not,
against
you're
you.
not listening
You
to
still be
this though,
acquitted.
Emmanuel. He's not gonna say without any.
Why they man lock it door? You know the
Listen,
woman
man.
get seizure. Why you get people working the house? Why you lock it door?
Mr. There is 1 second. He's not
That's
just
how you
gonna
do
go.
it. That's
So
how
if
you do
they
it.
were just
You can
based
lock it when you
on
want to lock
if they
it.
were just based on opinion, Mr. Sam Jackson would have been arrested from day one. Because that was their opinion. They felt that something was not right somewhere. That was their opinion then. Now, if they got evidence to prove that they believe that when they take this evidence to court, you cannot just go arrest somebody because you say, I think something's not right. Let's arrest him.
Gloria
That's
Mususka.
opinion.
Gloria Mususka was arrested and sent to jail. Is she still in jail today?
That does not. What are you talking about?
Gloria Mususka's daughter died. The same police came out and said she didn't want to kill the daughter. When they went to
Okay.
court, is she working
They
free?
said they had that.
She not work
evidence,
free.
right?
She go to jail
It
for
was
more than
not
2 years.
opinion. They said
Is she
they
not
had
free today?
evidence.
That's what I'm asking. Is she not free
Evidence to
today?
talk-
You can be free under the president. The president can free you.
That President free Gloria Mususka?
Yes.
No,
Oh,
I'm
the
not
other
present
one,
for
yeah.
you.
Hold on, man. So
This David guy, we just need to find
But
someone
who
to
jail
go to it.
Gloria Mususka? Who jail Gloria Mususka?
that's Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court jail him. Who free him? Who free her? I mean,
I said the Supreme Court. They say who free her again? The Supreme Court free her.
Yeah.
Supreme Court jail her. Supreme Court free her, right?
Yes.
People did not jail her.
Supreme Court did not jail her.
But then who jail her?
It was the lower court, and they took appeal to the Supreme Court.
Then who jail her?
It is the lower court.
The
Before they
lower
took appeal to
court.
The
Supreme
lower court are not part of the Supreme Court.
No, it's not.
No.
Now what can I call it in?
They got superior court and they got subordinate court.
Yeah, subordinate court and superior court, they're not working together.
No, they don't work together.
Okay,
If
when
they are
they
working
jail Gloria
together-
Mususka, when they took appeal to the Supreme Court, how long it took?
I don't know the timeline.
What
It
is
took 2 hours. It took 2
It's
hours.
not that 2
They
hours.
gave the
Graham
guy
Mususka
they
served for
shouldn't be
more than
coming on
2
the show
years.
here. They shouldn't be coming on the show because we can't get a preconceived idea and
Says
nothing
this.
is going to change it now,
Give
man.
me the point I'm saying. The point I'm saying. The reason I brought Mususka issue up, people can tell you, say, this is it. This is our evidence. It's not because the person said the guy evidence does actually mean it is an evidence. That's what they believe. It has to be established that their belief is indeed the
They were not
reality.
established, so the judge just decided to jail Graham Mususka.
Amen. It's okay.
Okay, hey man, they're close now. We're going. My people, 13. I gotta go. Y'all hurry up.
Yeah, so like I said, it is the police opinion. If they go to court, the court will establish their opinion as evidence, and then if that evidence is strong, Samuel Jackson will be sent to jail. Currently, they've been
Now you not speak the English.
But that's what I was saying. You did not allow me to talk.
No.
I said what the
They
police.
have the evidence. If the police in that evidence is in, if the court in that evidence is enough,
Yes.
then
for now, it's
they
still
will agree
it's still
with
an
it.
opinion.
But it doesn't mean.
Amy will not go to jail because, according to them, the Supreme Court can give opinion.
No, that's not what he.
The man said they will tell that lower court, when the lower court sentence you to jail, it may not right. Only the Supreme Court will send you to jail.
No.
You're good now. I hope you're.
But when I said the man brought Graham Mususka case, he said Graham Mususka case was sent to jail by the lower court, and the Supreme Court made opinion, and I want to free Graham Mususka. So it means the judge from the lower court, they are not competent. Everything they see, they can just send
the
to court.
judge from the lower court doesn't mean they're not committed, but sometimes they can get it wrong.
So the Supreme Court can get it wrong because the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court can get it wrong too, but the Supreme Court, so when they get
That's
it
why
wrong,
it is an opinion.
I live with a wrong decision.
Because they can't take evidence.
Because they can't take evidence. You can't go there and
It's an
explain.
opinion.
Yeah.
So
They can only look at the law they apply.
yeah.
They can only look at the
People
law
look
they
at
apply.
it. Let me, for instance, Amy talk, George talk, you talk, I talk. They say, okay, before of any talking, Amy, when you say you agree with George, you say, yeah, I agree with George. Say, Mr. When you say you agree with George, you say, yeah, I agree with George. Say, you might agree with George. I say, no. The fact that three of you agree, without evidence, but the fact that three of you agree on the same idea, it becomes the order. That is what they call opinion. Not because, oh, you see the thing that black phone, no, that red phone. It's not like that. The people are looking at the color to tell whether it is black. The people tell you anything that behaves like this is black. That's opinion. So in the case the police has spoken,
that's the only the opinion is used in the Supreme Court.
yes. So the police have spoken their opinion. I'm not saying they are wrong, but the point is the fact that it's not established yet. Because it's possible that Sam Jackson can come with another thing and say, oh no,
I don't think the police actually say it's established.
That's it. That's
No case again.
Mr. David, whatever you believe is an establishment for you. David, Mr. David, anything you believe is an establishment for you. You have established in your mind. You establish that this is it. That's an establishment. It had to be proven for it to be binding. So I'm not saying the policeman is wrong. That's why they did investigation. In that investigation, they say, oh, based on this, because they were not there. There's no camera. They say, oh, based on the camera. Now they are quoting people. How sure you that even the people are saying the truth? You don't know.
The people live in the house with him. He the one hire the people.
It doesn't matter. I can hire you, and somebody can kind of manipulate you to say something against me. It can happen in court. So let it be proven. So I'm not saying Samuel Jackson is right for whatever happened or he's innocent, but right now it's the opinion of the IG. Then I go to court. Let the court establish the IG's opinion. Then we can say Samuel Jackson did it. That was just what I was saying. Thank you, Amy, for the time. I appreciate it.
No problem. So thank you
balance
everyone for being here and here today. Happy Good Friday.
So I mean, what happened on the day? The crucifixion day.
Good Friday. Oh, happy Friday. Good Friday.
At the time they arrested, they were having the supper, right?
No, yesterday he was arrested. Read your Bible.
You were arrested on Thursday?
Yes, Judah betrayed him on Thursday. He was arrested.
But Judah,
Thursday, and then Friday he was crucified. And then Sunday he was resurrected.
I thought the same day they arrested him, like same day they crucified him.
Jesus is
No.
Lord. I was saying you want to hold a Bible for your birthday. When is your birthday?
I don't get birthday.
When is your birthday? Mr. Davis?
I was born according to the
Say one
font.
Bible story for your birthday.
The time they make fun when I hear it, I think you're
Yeah, that time they born me.
My grandma now you can
I don't know the year, the age of that tree.
the year when the dog making a year of one say, oh man, forget that for you not get birthday.
I know Judge don't know that it just when they forget the year the power when they found me.
Yeah, that will make fun what I hear.
They now made 20 different found there. They don't know.
What you know, it was there.
Yes. So Sunday is
Because from the biblical scene when they were carrying Jesus Christ, when they arrested him, when I call him say the CDC men go to Jesus Christ.
when Judas
Judas
betrayed
Judas,
his soul.
in the whole Bible, Judas is complete CDC. Judas was a member of CDC, like Judas established CDC.
No, Judas was you get called back.
No, Judas was CDC. He established CDC. Judas is the founder of CDC.
And one guy country to another country.
How they say Muslim was established by Ibrahim other son.
What?
But you guys say like a friend. You guys say like a best friend.
Yeah.
All the one we gotta use it in court against him. Like best friend.
When somebody best friend, so that mean they find guilty or something.
Oh, if I your best friend from different country, then say, my man, like your land, take it. I know like your land. I'm a representative. I representative the government like your land. They play the position the man occupy. You're not supposed to say those words.
He's not a lie. Even when
But are he investigated?
That's true.
That's true. Like your opinion. I say opinion.
Tina, talking about you saw the lie.
That you got opinion, right?
Most of the land for the people.
Yeah, I thought you're not investigating. You're not doing nothing.
Where you know that from? What
where you know that from? You say according to my investigation.
Me and a group of Lofian and they know that.
According to my investigation, the land belong to Guinea.
He did. He ain't even survey his own house that country he gonna survey.
You can't see a bridge where you go build.
Say walkway. Wasn't that bridge?
The thing that you 5 years cola.
Happy Black Friday. Good Friday. Not Black Friday. Good Friday to everyone.
Good Friday to you too.
Good Friday.
So today is already Friday here. So it's 1 o'clock already. So like we were saying today.
Almost 4 p.m. here on the Friday.
Today, if we said again, Jesus was
it's 2 o'clock
crucified. He was killed on the cross, and all our sins were taken away.
He came from heaven to show us the way from the earth to the cross. My sins away.
My death
to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I live your name on high.
No. Let me come in, Joy. I get question. Joy, I get question.
I'm so glad you came to save me. Yes, that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
I get question on
they get just waiting all over me. I can sing.
Okay. You let us say.
I say.
I get question for that song.
Like opinion.
No,
the
judge they get made decision. Only the Supreme Court get made decision.
Listen, I get question to that song.
Yeah, what is
it came from there you get explanation. But from the grave to the other side, there was no explanation.
Oh, I get explanation. You're not listening to me. You should always
okay, just say.
Okay.
It came from where?
You came from
heaven to earth.
You
away.
Okay.
From the earth to the grave. From the grave to the sky.
My dad,
so what's the explanation there?
Sorry, yeah, my dad to
from the grave to the sky.
From the grave to the sky. Lord, I live your name. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There's no
Yeah,
explanation
that's it.
somewhere there.
Lord, I love to
Mr.
sing your
Derry, we're not going to
praises.
argue that one, yeah, because you know,
I'm so glad you
There's
came
no
to
explanation.
save.
there's
You
no
keep on
He
explanation.
gave
driving
explanation he came from the
Mr.
earth. He came from heaven
from
to
the
earth.
earth
He
Mr.
to
gave
David,
earth.
they
explanation.
wanted to help you, but you not get birthday. That will make it hard.
Yeah, I know. If you're going back to heaven, what's the explanation you give there?
To the
That
sky,
you in
Lord, I
heaven,
live
for
and
you to give her the explanation.
There's no explanation. Y'all give me explanation for that song, to that part.
Well, he going back to heaven. What else?
He came
Whatever.
from heaven to the earth to save. You get that explanation.
Yeah, David Doe can sing the front. I can sing it.
He
To
came from
save
heaven
the
to
world.
earth
Y'all
to
get
show us the
explanation to
way.
save.
From the earth to the cross, my debt he paid.
Uh-huh.
From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. I lift your name
Lord, I
on
live your name
So
on
what else you want here again? He
high.
going
No,
back.
I want to know he came
Praise.
from heaven to earth to save the
I'm
world.
so glad you came to
From the grave, from the cross to the grave, there's nothing about it. What he did from the cross to the grave.
What are you
Then
talking about? There is something about
from the
it.
grave,
From the
from the grave, he go by heaven. There's no explanation.
I swear to God, I know what
There should be explanation that he condemned death from the grave. He had condemned death. And like that, you should say something there.
Oh, okay, then make it face about a song. You're gonna get
That
bread.
I will sing my own song.
Going back to heaven, there's no
From the cross to the grave, to condemn death. From the grave to the sky.
To kill them.
Mr. David, I'm blaming you. Sorry, your birthday not on the calendar at all. But this time you do that song.
From the grave to the sky. Then our thing.
Then from the sky.
To give us something, to give up that he get power.
Oh gosh.
That he gave up power.
You go back to the sky.
From the grave, from the cross to the
thank you so much. Thank you for watching us. We always come in and chill to the morning, to the weekly morning hour. And
yes,
Mr. David.
come here, my man. Be come here. Yeah. Be come here. I can survive in the people here, my man. At least.
No, what did you imagine to save you on? Save you on nothing.
But was not to defend you or defend a person about it. I just give my opinion.
Yeah, your opinion.
That because we all agree today, and you didn't want last time you and
I know when you agree,
and you want to chase me out of the show because I was talking again. That's because we agree today.
You're a good man.
I agree with bow. Very good.
That's the CDC mentality. The Tunisian mentality. You gotta agree all the time when you know. If I speak and say I'm not real Tunisian. When I said something, he said, "See, I mean, like you people, he's sensible. You people ain't gonna say that foolish speaking that." I said, "You're just gonna make sensible. You people, all of it."
Yeah, today by you don't get
boy, what is the other? Said that one I can be screaming and living near the ocean. McLean or whatever.
Oh, my gracious.
So I'm eating a kobo. He be saying, "Let me stop."
Oh yeah.
That's good for
me. McLean.
Yeah, McLean. Yeah.
You said
McLean.
No, that's you're talking.
Beans. They want beans. Yeah, the woman made it beans. The beans. Yeah. But let me say something. Probably why my food getting cold.
I said, don't spend all your food. When you say something, that's Joe Boy got the other day. Vasco said that boy is very sensible. When he can other than that, something, he said, I want a foolish speaking there. Something like that. I said, you can nitpick when he's a good boy. Oh my goodness.
They doing, the government doing something good for Bon Candeo.
Oh, you know what I was saying?
the linking bridge over the St. Paul River from Bon County to Bapolu.
Bapolu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Saint Lebert was established
I saw
at first
that.
time somebody think about it.
Say 1847.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're also linking. I don't know if that Maryland and Ivory Coast.
Yeah, that one we know about it, but that one I'm not counting.
The
So
one
I
that
have
sent
to
me-
time for it. I talk
The
about
one that sent me- You don't have time for it, Mr. David?
I don't
That's
get time for it.
that's
I told you every
But it's
development
not
I
in
want
your
must be in Bon
accountancy, you
County.
don't have time for it. You should be
Every
excited.
development should be in Bon County.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's selfish. Bon
All
County
the
is
marble
not
exercise should be in Bon County.
Liberia is all over. So Maryland and
The
the
brother
Ivory
Jaga
Coast,
Coliver now gives some to Guinea. You see, all
they put in a bridge over
Maryland.
this
How do
Maryland
you know
and Ivory
Maryland?
Coast.
You know the boundary? You know how the border looking, my man?
eh?
No,
Maryland,
the
the
water,
border with Guinea.
they're always using a ferry to go across the.
Yeah, they use the ferry to go over the Kavala River.
Is that what that river called? Yeah, so they're putting bridge over it now. That's a good thing.
Both
So
Africa, I think I World Bank.
is Africa contributing to that project, or it just
Africa
Project.
contributing.
It's
Africa
ECOWAS
contributing.
project.
It's ECOWAS project?
Yeah.
Okay. So
They're
good.
not
Because
good
that
project.
that benefits both countries. So it shouldn't be one
Yeah.
person.
It's
If
to
we go
connect the
Africa,
region.
because there are plenty of the cards that can come from Africa. Plenty of the
Yeah.
Maryland, they're doing the same thing there too. To Peru border. We used to pass them.
Is to increase inter-nations
Right.
commerce.
The way they rebuild, look at bridge, right? They
They
rebuild
need to
that
put
place.
some of that bridge to that play with a board and one see too. What is Solomba and
No, when I put it there, because it'll be easier for the Guinea people to come.
no. They have to see where to what a play named Ganta, right?
Yeah, but Ghana, they ain't come there. They come for peace. So they can increase the hours because the bread bullock can close
what
at
they're
6.
doing now. We're talking about what would make the people life easier around that area. It's what I'm talking about.
No, we don't want to do it there. We get big bullock post. The bread get a lot of bullock around the bread.
But the people in Foya will not go all the way around. We're talking
No,
about the
they
people
will go through Masanta.
You have to.
The mean bullock are dry land. The mean bullock are dry land.
You have to think about the other people that live over there.
Listen.
You can't talk about other people where on the other side.
We don't even get bridge. The people take kilo, they can't they overthrow.
What? They will go back. They're spending time. They will
We
go
don't
back.
get bridge. The people can't wait gone. I think we won't get bridge. I think they will can't wait.
What they mean? We're talking about the people that are over there that are going over the river in canoes to cross to
Then
go.
they live that primitive life. Then they be there that.
So they need to put a bridge over there for
No,
those that are
Guinea got to agree
yeah, come
before.
on now. Let me do something I'm doing. Stop interrupting me. You don't want that, that's fine. But I'm telling you, that's my opinion, that's your opinion. This is what I think the people over there that are going across the water in canoes and stuff to go and do businesses. I think they need a bridge over there to go across and come back. You see how they connecting other places where something they need to do that there as well. If Liberia want to close their borders, they can do that while that stuff is there. It doesn't mean you gotta cripple everybody because somebody acting stupid. So let's not say that. They need to put something there. When it's
all
spending time, they will go back. They're spending time.
Now all bullock crossing point, they gotta put bridge.
Where it's being used, they gotta put bridge.
No, we get Kennedy in Nima County. They call it play Kennedy. There's no bridge there. We can use Kindle to cross.
Well, we're not talking about Nimakande. We're talking about
But I
where.
just say that crossing point, immigration can be there. Immigration there, Africa immigration zone, Liberia immigration zone. But when you cross the water, what they call in the net, everybody lack a kilo. At the African security and Liberia kilo, they lack it so nobody can cross.
Exactly. So that's the same thing. You need
So
to have
it means they must put bridge there too.
They need
Not
to
all
have
crossing point, they gotta
every
put bridge.
crossing point too to lock it in the night when nobody's crossing. You need
The
that.
whole thing is that anywhere we find that more people can cross here, we
Yeah,
should put bridge
they
there when
need
we
it.
can. Yeah, when we can, we put bridge there because bridge is more safe than
You need,
canoe.
yeah, you're talking about the population. People
Now,
go
our people
goes
that
across
are
the water.
interstate, so our people can use it and they can use it too.
Yeah.
So let's put bridge there to make our people life safe. That's
The
all we want.
important one will put bridge there. Not the important one, not
That's
put
what we
bridge
say.
there.
It's not
Well,
important.
so
People
what's
will not
important
talk
to you?
there.
We're talking about people crossing the
no.
goal. That's why you're talking about important
I'm
one.
That
serious, man.
place,
What's important to you?
like
What you call
illegal trading
important?
point. Illegal trading
That's why
point.
I'm making you, my man.
It's not legal. That's why you see that's why you see it like that.
Yeah.
That place was raising more revenue for government than put bridge. It's not raising revenue for government. They're
Okay.
raising no bridge there. Because when you come with your goods, you can pass on a cover, no record.
Well, they need to put it there and then start raising money.
That's
from there.
just Kenya looking. No record in Kenya.
They need
We
to put it
need to
there.
pass from Africa there on a cover.
They need to put it there and start raising money from there. How about that? So this is how we like to end the night, the day, the morning, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We see you guys willing. What, Friday or Saturday? We'll see. Good night.